we go again. Good mighty, mighty, good evening. Trying to split my lip on that one. Hey, yo. Welcome back to another edition of the MyT Sports Podcast. I am still your host, the one and only Dalento Ma Taylor. Yo, it is another Fuego day in the hottest city in the world, coming at you live and direct from South Florida. It is officially February 6th. You're listening to Volume 8, Episode 55, Track 509 of the MyT Sports Podcast. Current temperature right now as we talk is 69 degrees, and it's just about 12 minutes after 12. So for you guys that like to listen to the show live, we are approximately 2 hours and 5 minutes behind regular start time. I'm gonna have to switch that start time out. Like maybe I'm gonna switch it out to 9:07. Nah, I don't know. We gonna see. We got a big show for you guys today. We got a big show for you guys. We haven't spoke to you guys in a while. We have a really big show, like really big. Really big show, like really big. Oh man, listen, it really has been a while since we haven't MyT. All right, it's been a while since we spoke, right? It's been a minute since we spoke. Listen, I have my reasons. Things happen. Yeah, I really did split my lip. Yeah, I really did split my lip on that one. Oh man, big show. What do we have? Because we haven't been here in a while. There's so much that's happened since we last left, right? There's been so much that's happened since we last left, right? We had LeBron James making history, and let me see where are we at right now in the history making process. Because even though he's made history, he's still making history. And he can still break records. So we got that we go get into, right? Of course, we got a Blue Chew promo code for you guys. Listen, no matter how long we're going for, we'll always come back with a Blue Chew promo code. Listen, it's the only time that the MyT Sports Podcast will give you a hard time. Hey, yo, right? We got Julius Randle's son out there stunning like his daddy. We got WNBA free agency that just passed. Yo, we got the birthday shout-outs. We got a week's worth of birthday shout-outs. We haven't been here since last Monday. Last podcast we had was last Monday. We'll get into all that, right? We got the NBA trade deadline that's popping up in a few days, right? You understand? That's 3 days away to February 9th. We got the artist, and speaking of the NBA trade deadline, we got the artist formerly known as Kyrie, right? He is no longer a blacktop baller. He is now known as the Kyrie, the blacktop cowboy, right? We got there's no raffle. See, I was prepared for Wednesday's show. We got Kingdom of the Knicks to get into, right? We got Junior Mafia, or as you guys have quickly learned, is the Ja Morant Mafia, right? Literally the Ja Morant Mafia, right? I'm gonna shut down the club. We're not gonna open up the club today, right? We maybe go talk about WWE, and your boy was kind of hospitalized. I guess we're going to talk about that in our first topic of the day, right? We'll get into that and more coming up next on the MyT Sports Podcast. But you know what we say here, regardless of the time and regardless of the weather, it's always a blast on the MyT Sports Podcast. Hey, yo, Coach, tell them how we do this here.
Coach? You play to win the game. Hello?
All right, so let's start talking, right? Let me stir this motherfucker. I haven't stirred this pot up in a while, right? So we're going to stir this like coffee. So let's start talking. MyT Sports. Whew. It's been a long time. It's been a massively long time. Don't worry. I know you guys can see a little bit of that peeking through. Seeing a little poke coming through on you. Right, yeah, I know you see that. Well, what am I doing here? I'm trying to find the game. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to get my games on. As you guys know, with the MyT Sports Podcast, we always try to have some kind of game here. We always try to have some kind of game on here every time we go on the show. Haven't been able to get a game up yet, but don't worry, we're gonna get one up here in just a few minutes. That way we can give you guys a little bit of break in while we're doing the show. Man, we got a big show for you guys. We got a big birthday. What's going on, Chico? What's going on? How you doing, Pippin? We got a big birthday list coming up. We got a big birthday list. So you know what we do here at the top of the show, right? Is that at the top of the show, we like to give a birthday shout out to everybody that had a birthday since the last time that we was on the air. So what you do, if you know anybody that had a birthday since, how far back are we going? January 31st. That's how far back we're going, folks. January 31st. If you know anybody that had a birthday as far back as January 31st to currently today, go ahead and start dropping their names and get them involved in the birthday shout-outs. Go ahead and start tagging them in the comments so you get started, get added in the birthday shout-outs. Because you know what? The birthday shout-outs on the MyT Sports Podcast is coming up next. Drop my beat for me. Can I get a little louder? Louder, right? Because it's your birthday. We said it's your run that back. Run it back. Hold on. Wait. Oh, whoa. Because it's your birthday. We said it's birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Because it's your birthday. We sing happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Yo, we got a bunch of birthday shout outs to give out today. We got a bunch of, because we haven't been on here for about a week now. So we got the whole set. We got the whole set. We got the whole entire set for you guys. Let's go ahead and start this off, right? Ready? All right. So first we got birthdays for January 31st, right? We got a couple of birthdays for January. Now, listen, it's going to be crazy, right? Is that normally I go out of my ways, right? And I start tagging people, right? I start letting them know how they can get into the podcast. I get them a little share. I didn't give them a share today. He was behind on production. I was like, you know what? Everybody knows where to find how to get their birthday shout outs. Whoa, hey, yo. I was like, everybody knows where to get their birthday shout outs at, right? So maybe I can skip a day of tagging them. But then I feel bad. So I'm like, I know that people be looking at like, I know my day is coming up. And I know that T always likes to. I know that T is always out here giving the birthday shout outs, making sure he tags everybody. So I know the people is out here they looking for, right? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, do I have the time or not to go ahead and tag everybody today, right? And I'm thinking to myself, if you don't, then not only on oh shit, I just remembered something. And I just remembered this from the birthday shout-outs. Holy crap. Hold on. Yeah. You know what? I can't even go without. I'm going to have to get the birthday shout-outs in here today because I also want somebody in the birthday shout-outs to be able to also hear another shout-out that's coming their way. So that's oh man. That one almost broke my heart when I saw that. I'm not going to lie. I am not going to lie. So you guys know what to do here. You guys know exactly what to do here, right? You guys go ahead and you start getting all your birthday people tagged up. Right? You start getting them in here so that they know the MyT Sports Podcast is out here dropping birthday shout-outs, dropping birthday bombs. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we dropping birthday bombs. Like, we giving them the clappers. Yeah, folks, we handed out full-blown clappers today. Right? So if you know anybody with a birthday since the 31st, right? you make sure that you get them tagged in. And it don't matter where you get them tagged in. Whether you listen on Facebook, whether you listen on Instagram, whether you listen on Twitter, whether you watch it on YouTube, whether you're watching on Twitch. Right? It doesn't matter where you're listening at or where you're watching from. You go ahead and you get your peoples tagged up in here so that they can get their birthday shout outs as well. You mind if I ask you a favor, DJ MyT? I'm gonna ask you to pull that back up and run that back for me. You know how we do here. You mean the
play code means rewind, the gunshot means forward. You requested it, so we rewind.
Yeah, because you know what we do here? It's all about the birthday celebration. I like to start off every single podcast with a birthday celebration. Start off every single podcast with a little bit of birthday love. You understand? Put a little bit of love in your heart. I think that's how that song goes. But more importantly, we just like to start the show off with a little bit of a celebration. Right? Get those podcast juices flowing, right? Get those birthday juices pumping, right? Get that energy going. You know, it's your boy, Mr. Energy himself. Hey, yo, go ahead and drop one of the AKAs on the floor real quick. Ooh, we in Mr. Energy mode right now, and this is low energy. This is low Mr. Energy mode, right? Like I'm functioning probably like at about a 4, and I can get. I'm lying. I'm functioning about like a 3, and I can get this all the way up to a 10, and we're not even there yet. All right, let's go ahead and start giving these birthday shout outs, right? You ready for this? You like that? I like that. You like that? I like that. Because, yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. But because it's your birthday, we sing happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. All right, let's go and give you birthday shout outs. Birthday shout outs, birthday shout outs, birthday shout outs. So, first birthday shout out we'll like to give out is to one. Who we got here? Who do we have here? Birthday for January 31st. Let's give a birthday shout out to Shayna Hargrave. Right? That's Shayna Hargrave. I haven't seen Shayna in a while. I think since the last time I seen Shayna, right? Like on a regular basis. You drop 1-2 hit singles. I know definitely you drop at least 1 hit single. So like you guys know what we do here, right? So I know you drop 1 hit single. Right, big shout out to that. I haven't talked to your brother in a while. But I'll save the other news that I think I saw until after the birthday shout outs. So I think I saw something. That was kind of disturbing. All day on Broadway. You know how that goes. Right? So happy birthday to Shayna for January 31st, right? Then we move over and we get into our birthdays for February 1st. It's officially Black History Month. We got the birthdays that start off Black History Month, and ironically, none of them are black. But I know at least one of them has contributed to the Black Okay, let me get back into. Actually, come on, let me get back into mode. This is mode. This is T. This is MyT. This is me. So I want to say first, happy birthday is to Stephanie, Steph Holder. You guys know the Holder family. You know her sister on the podcast. We talked about her plenty of times in the first couple of seasons. I think we had a couple of products. We even had services that we were offering away as a prize. I don't think the winner ended up being a local winner that year. Something odd, right? So, happy birthday to Stephanie Holder. She has a birthday on February 1st. Also, on birthday on February 1st, we have a birthday for Erica Esquire. I'm sorry. I don't know. You guys have to see what I'm just like. It just hits different, right? So happy birthday to you, Erica. Right? That's the birthdays for February 1st. Then we move over to birthdays for February 2nd, and we got one birthday for Pamela Zapata. Happy birthday to Pamela. And then we move over to the 3rd. We had no birthdays for the 3rd, so we skip over that. And then we got a business birthday for the 4th. So we want to say happy birthday to Best Rentals, right? Hey, you know those business birthdays. You know that day that you started your business, the day that you started your your business page. Yo, big up to that as well. Yo, for real, for real. I also want to say, let me move forward. We get happy birthdays to yesterday. So now we're moving into the weekend, right? And I hope you guys got your party on the motherfucking weekend. Because you know how that go. Listen, I'm going to tell you how that go in a second. Because you know how we say here. You know what we do. You know what we do here. Bring that back up. We ain't done with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. All right, let's get back into the fit, folks. We got a birthday for Lovely Reed. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that's supposed to be Remy, ain't it? From Indy. All right, ain't that Remy? Is it Remy? Oh, see now you got like Lovely Reed. I'm like, wait a minute. What the fuck is your real name now? I think it's Reed. It's one of the little ones. It's one of the little ones. It's one of my little ones that got kids before me. Listen, I'm winning. I'm joking. Oh man, let me stop because listen, I'm trying to drop my hit single. Like I'm trying to drop a hit single in these streets too. I see if I get this motherfucker to go platinum. I see y'all with all your potential platinum plaques. I see all you. Big up to all of you. Big up to all my people with platinum records out there or potential platinum plaques. I see you all out there. Right now, everything's about gold right now. You know what I mean? Everything's about gold right now. We're going to see if we can get things up to platinum status. If even super love, you know, we can start shooting for diamonds. Diamond love forever. Right? We're going to get into that maybe a little bit later, right? So, also, let's get the last birthday that we have on the docket, folks. And that's also a birthday for one Danny Girl Russo. Happy birthday to you, Danielle, as well. Drop a clap as well. We make it clap. All right, let's get them all back in the room, right? So to Shayna and to Steph and to Pamela and to Erica and to Vest, we see your roof and keep building. You know it's proof. You know, to Reed and to Danielle, we want to wish you all a happy birthday. We hope you party hard, you enjoy everything, you regret nothing. The weekend just finished. So more than anything, you continue to stay MyT. Hey fellas, like seriously, and that's how you gotta moan in your girl's ear. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Just be in there like, like you just taste the most savory biscuit. Stop. I'm wildin'. But you know what they say, right? If I'm smiling, then I'm wildin'. And I'm definitely smiling today. Yo, DJ MyT, go ahead and cut that beat for me. Thank you very much. Let's do what we do here normally. Let's get into our first topic of the day. What we do here for our first topic of the day is that... Sorry, my bad. Let's get into our MyT topic of the day. And what we do about MyT topic of the day is a topic that is just a little bit bigger than sports. It may be inside of sports, it may be outside of sports, but we're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and get this out the way. Let's get this wrapped up, and let's make sure that and get things popping. Right? So let's get into our MyT topic of the day. Our MyT topic of the day. Let me start off with the reason why I haven't been here in a whole entire week. I know, why can't I catch this game properly? This is the thing about the NBA app. You know what? I'm not going to go through the NBA app. Let me go through one of my black channels and let's see what happens. Let me use my Kodak black channel. All right. So, for the reason why I wasn't, so let's get into the reason why I wasn't here for the last week or so. Your boy was hospitalized, right? Like flat out said, your boy was hospitalized. Ended up going to the hospital on Wednesday and came out and was home Friday. Yeah. Hey, basically what ended up happening, right, is that I ended up having a massive migraine. Like so who knows what it is? right? But I was having a headache. I was having a headache for 10 days straight. Like, I'm talking about 10 days, no break. Like inside of my head, back of my head, in my eye. I mean, nonstop, no breaks, all the time. Wake and bakes. Whether I'm sleeping, anything. I was just massive, right in here, right up in here, right back in, right. Massive, 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 massive migraine headaches, whatever you want to call it. Like, I was going through the photosensitivity. Even this is still kind of bothering me, but like, it makes me feel the pressure build up back in my eye. Right. But I was going through that, and it lasted for, when I finally went to the doctor, it's because it's been going for like 7. It was going on for 7 days straight. So we're talking now that I've been feeling some kind of headache-like symptoms now for, well, tomorrow hits. It's going to be going on 2 weeks now. So when it happened last week, I was like, okay, cool. But it started getting to the point where the pressure was getting so bad, like I was like, I couldn't lift my head up, like this, like any form of it. I was like, if you guys know me, I normally don't close up. I'm normally like, my dwelling is super bright. I open up all the windows automatic. Actually, in my room, I don't even sleep with the windows closed. You know what I mean? Like, them blinds are open all the time. Like if you want to be a peeping Tom, you go witness it in all my glory. You go ahead and tell a story. You know what I mean? But that's like we have a story. Like, that's what we're doing today. Like some Biggie shit. Call my homies on the cell, bring some weed. I got a story to tell. So, like, the headache was just constantly there. So I go to the doctor real quick. Go see if I can get some things checked out, right? Because I go to the walking clinic real quick for the VA, and I was like, hey yo, blah blah blah. Take the blood pressure sky high, which is crazy too, because I've been bragging to myself personally on how my blood pressure has been under control over the last year and a half, and I've been finding that truly astonishing. That the BP has been completely under control over the last year and a half. Where it hasn't been high, hasn't fluctuated, hasn't gone up any. Like, I haven't had, And the reason why I say that is because, we'll talk about that later. So that's basically what happened. Your boy ended up being hospitalized. They ended up checking the BP. The BP is sky high, and then they still wanted to eliminate all things head related. So we're talking aneurysms, glaucoma. Well, not quite glaucoma, because that's why I gotta go see the eye doctor for. But like temporal arthritis, aneurysms, hemorrhages, blockages, any kind of things like that, right? They're looking into the whole entire spill. And nothing. Everything came back clean, like fortunately, right? So that's the good part. The only bad part about it is that your boy was just in pain, like massive amounts of pain. Like, we're talking about, like, couldn't sleep or anything. And then like, I'm there trying to get some rest. Somebody, what's this? Unfortunately, channel view. Okay, I'll look into that a little bit later. So we get it. I'm just a massive amount of. Just a massive amount of pain. But now I made it to the hospital, and I guess it's supposed to be my opportunity to get some sleep. Now, unfortunately for me, I can say really. Unfortunately for me is that the room that they put me in, I end up getting 2 different roommates, right? At 2 different times, obviously. And because of my roommate, at no time could I sleep. The first roommate I had, and both of them were bedridden, right? So both of them couldn't get out of bed. The first one was, I guess you call them, they were mute, inaudible, right? Couldn't speak, but could make noises. And throughout the day, throughout the night, all you heard was or don't know if he was shitting himself or he was making that noise with his mouth. But that's all you would hear in like 10, 20-minute intervals. Like just going on for like 10 minutes straight, 10 minutes straight. And it'll stop for like 5 minutes and then go on for like another 10, 20 minutes. I'm like, holy shit. And it was obviously it's worse at night when we're trying to get some sleep. I'm like, yo, this ain't gonna work for me. So I ended up asking for like some earplugs. And it was funny because the first person I asked, I thought this person was a regular nurse. Ended up realizing through trial and error that this person may have just been the nurse for the specific patient, like their regular nurse. You know what I mean? And had nothing really to do with the hospital. Not quite sure about that still yet. So me asking them was anything was like making a mute point. Right? Or asking somebody that was really just there only because their patient was there, not because they were even part of the general working facility there to help everybody. It was like, nope, I have my one concern only. So after asking for the earplugs, I was like, okay, I still like, and she was like, I don't think we have any. I was like, what? I'm like, how you don't have any earplugs? I'm like, this don't make no sense. So I get up to so after trying to sleep for like another hour or so, like I still can't sleep. I'm like, you know what? I get up and I'm like, and I go to the front desk. I'm like, hey, do you guys have any earplugs? Because if you don't, I'm gonna discharge myself, and whatever test gotta be ready, I could just come back tomorrow and get them ran, like, because I'm not gonna be able to get any sleep. So no doubt somebody went and found some earplugs from the. Obviously, I think it's for somebody. I guess from radiology. This is me. They got for somebody that generally goes to radiology. Obviously, for the MRI or CT scan machine, and they don't know noise it makes there. So like, okay, cool. So I got a pair of earplugs, right? So I can sleep. And I basically kept them in the majority of the time anytime I wanted to sleep. Well, this action caused me to miss my dinner. Apparently, I finally did fall asleep. And then they brought my dinner and they told me that they tried to wake me up. They told me I didn't wake up this time. I couldn't wake up because I was knocked out. Well, it's because I finally got some sleep. And two, I had the earbuds in, so I couldn't, the earplugs in. So, I don't know, like them things they give you in the military. The things like them 3M ones that try to sue everybody. No, it's not those ones. But earplugs, like, not designed like that. But when I say earplugs, like gun range earplugs. I don't want to watch this Portland game from the beginning. And it keeps really trying to force me to watch this Portland Atlanta game from the beginning. But I do want to watch this game, though. Let's see if I can get it back again. So now, of course, when it missed my dinner, when I finally wake up, like you understand, like my niece came and visited me, my mother came and visited me. And like I remember them being there. I remember a plate being there, and I remember thinking that was still my lunch being there. But by the time I woke up and was ready for my dinner was gone. That's basically like the end of the story, right? Oh, no wonder it kept on doing what it did. This game was already over. Portland 129, 125. I just happened to, when I finally stopped scrolling, happened to be at the end of the game. So, okay, why was it showing that this game was live? Oh, because they were still doing they're still doing the post-game interviews. Okay, so what's over? Brooklyn and Clippers are over. I don't have the score for that. I don't have the score for any of these games, obviously. But, what can we put on live? Wait a minute. Why was I getting Portland and Atlanta live? No wonder Ish was weird. I was thinking, like, they playing again? They just played the other day. Let's take a peek. Since we're looking at Portland anyway, let's go Portland and Milwaukee. That's supposed to be on NBA TV. I should have just went straight to NBA TV. This game has ended? Nah, stop playing with me. What time is it? You know what? I can't even be mad. This is my fault. Cause I did start the podcast super late. I'm over like, yo, how are games ending? Like, this makes no sense. Like, what do you mean ending? Like, this should just now be starting. Well, if I would have started a podcast at 8:07, yeah, maybe. Start a podcast like at 10:07. What did I say? 10:12? Hey, things happen. You know it's bad. It's kind of like when you take a vacation off from work. When you remove yourself from your regular routine for a while, you catch yourself forgetting little things, doubling back, tripling back, quadrupling back, centupling back, right? Trickstecaganian back, right? I mean, you catch yourself going back continuously for stuff that you normally wouldn't forget. It was kind of having one of those days. So back to the story, right? So listen, man, I forgot my dinner. I didn't get my dinner. Apparently, I was knocked out. And again, I had the earbuds. In. That's really why I was knocked out. Like, the real reason why they couldn't wake me up was I had the earplugs in. And so normally the sounds that would wake me up, which is normally anybody entering my room or even just moving the curtain, I would normally hear it, and I'd be like, okay, who the fuck is in my space? Right? Or you just feel that presence, you'd be like, the fuck is you doing here? Because that's what happens when you have the earplugs. It's like, it becomes more of like light listening and just a feeling thing. You just wake up all of a sudden, you look over and there's somebody touching your IV, and you're like, okay, what the fuck are you doing to my IV? You're just watching them. And they don't know that you're watching them the whole entire time. And then they done and look back at you and these are watching like, oh, like, yeah, I see you, bitch. Seriously, imagine you're sleeping, right? Or you go into the room, somebody's sleeping, and then when you look back at them, they're just looking at you like this. Damn, I was gonna look directly into the light. Right now, Portland's getting their butt whooped. It's early on. Second quarter just started. 33-24. You seen Gary Payton just made a big man move in the paint. I don't know who he made it over, but he just made it in the paint. But now you see Gary Payton on Giannis. Well, Giannis is at the 3-point line, so it's easy for him to guard him out there if he's going to be selling it for that. So, yeah, that caused me to miss my dinner. Now, granted, I'm telling you this because I end up finding this out. I don't know this at the time when I missed my dinner. My dinner's not there. When I wake up at the time, it looks like, to me, they didn't bring me dinner. So I'm like, yo. So I was like, yo, nurse, when you get a chance, can I have my dinner brought? Can somebody bring me my dinner? And it's like, oh, dinner time passed. I'm like, so where's my food at then? They're like, oh, that, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, well, you didn't eat your dinner? I was like, no, I didn't eat my dinner. I was like, well, and I'm like, yo, where the hell is my food? And now it looks like they didn't bring me my dinner. So now I'm getting vexed, and I'm like, yo, whatever I did, yo, what do you mean? Because now they tell me, like, yo, somebody, they think that they took my dinner away. I'm like, yo, I don't like, when I say, one, I didn't see them bring it, and I didn't see him take it. I didn't feel him take it. I didn't feel him bring it. I didn't hear him take it. I didn't hear him bring it. When I told you, like, I was knocked out with the earplugs in, right? So if I didn't feel their presence in the crib or in the room, right, then whatever. Then I have no way of knowing if they really brought it or not. But again, this is me reacting over the situation that's presented in front of me at the time. So then, you know, the nurse, them trying to be nice, they're like, oh, you know, we could bring like a sandwich or something, you know. And I was like, thank you, I appreciate that, but where's my dinner? I was like, I wonder what happened to my food. I was like, yo, like, I take a little nap, I wake up, I'm hungry. I go looking for my meal, and it's not there. Now I'm gonna tell you what also threw me off, right? Is that they talk like the next day they try to talk about how quickly they try to take and remove meals, right? But the time frame in between it took them to come get my my lunch to my dinner, or even my breakfast to my lunch was ridiculous. Like both of them were ridiculous amount of times, right? So something didn't add up in my head, at least in my head, something didn't add up. So I'm like, nah, then forget about me. Like I don't know, bring them on them food, like, and then some of them, I'm like, yo, so I'm like, yo, me need something to eat. Yo, how you do me so? And then the lady said, right, cause like I'm getting pissed. I'm like, yo, me I get mad no, like when I vex me. And the ladies and they try to be nice again. It's like, sir, we could bring you a sandwich if you like. We got. I said, we don't want no blood clot sandwich. We like the kind of money sandwich for dinner. Yo, when I drop that line on the like, I'm telling you, I know I'm not the only person this happens to. But you go through moments in life, and when you step back and you look at the scenario, you're like, yo, who was that? Or you be like, or when you step back, you be like, yo, I straight turned into my mother, or I straight turned into my father on that one. For me, I was like, yo, I straight turned into my uncle or my grandfather. I was like, hey, yo, but look like the kind of man that yum sandwich for dinner. Oh shit! Which basically, if you know the guys, I said, like, do I look like the kind of man that eats a sandwich for dinner? I was like, yo. So one of the ladies, one of the nurses heard that, and I think whatever got triggered in me, right, and in all my islandness that made that come out, I think it triggered something in one of those nurses as well, and the island in them, and they were like, yo. May I find this man some food before I burn up the whole hospital? Him come from the VA, bring him a plate of food, have something down there before him. I could just imagine the psyche. Listen, everybody at University Hospital, I really do appreciate everything that you did for me, even though I think I made a complaint that was out of pocket. I thought you guys didn't bring my food, and I found out I just basically stepped through the whole scenario. Also, the reason why I ended up taking that whole entire post down to make sure I make a public apology, right? And I give a big shout out and much love to all the nurses that was there. I'm horrible with names, right? I know there was I think she was a British nurse that was there. She told me that she did like 27 years, right? In the British Army, right? So big shout out to her. She was really big, and then the overnight nurses, everybody else, right? Like shout out to the whole university side. Somebody went like the chapstick that I'm using now. Right, somebody was able to find me chapstick for that time as well while I was in there because, when your boys is sitting there and I don't know what it is. And like the lips get chapped at night. So I was like, yo, like I'm gonna wake up here, I'm gonna be dehydrated and my lips are gonna be all blistered. Somebody found me some chapstick. So really big shout out, big shout out. Jackie, what's popping, pimping? Oh, I've been meaning to text you too. Shit. But if you listening, I guess it's better as good a time as any to let you know I won't be making it to the Super Bowl celebration. I got an invite from Pops to go over to his crib. So if Pop sends me a bat signal, I gotta go there. So if you ain't know, now you know. But yeah, it was interesting 3 days. Basically, every test came back negative, which I guess is good, right? It's good. All the tests came out. Only bad thing about it is that the pain hasn't fully subsided. So there's still some pressure built up in the head, just a little bit. That still kind of like pulsates in the temple, and there's still a little bit of pressure. Like, so I've had this test in the past, through all my years. Right? If I'm ever out drinking, right, and if I try to tell myself, oh, are you a little dehydrated or are you a little hungover, right? Because dehydration is a form of being hungover. Like, you don't need to be like, oh my god, like that's extremely hungover, right? People understand like even the slightest signs of being hungover. And in a very slight level, if I wake up at any point in time and I do this real quick, and I feel like there's a little bit of pain in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm dehydrated. Let me get some water. So I've been out drinking, you know what I mean? So I know that as a sign. So right now, right, as time has progressed, still the mornings is still the worst for me. Like I'm doing a log, MyT log, day 17 of headache. Right? What's up, Aaron? What's going on, Aaron? How you doing? All right, so while I'm not in constant pain, right, there's still like a slight buzz there, a little buzz still in the eye, right, a little bit of temper, but then also for the most part, I have to give myself my little test. I'm like, okay, yeah, there's still something going on back there. So I still just been drinking tons of water. Don't quite still know what's going on. Gotta follow up this Friday. Gonna go see the doctor again. Probably gotta go see the optometrist to make sure nothing's going on with the eye pressure. That's what we're gonna do. That's when we're gonna check on the whole glaucoma thing and see how everything is going then. But other than that, like, that's the reason. Like, that's what's happening with your boy. That's what's happening. That's why we haven't been potted in a week. Like you believe that? Like, headaches. Like, fucking headaches. Oh my god. Like, your boy was debilitated with migraines. And then I gotta get home, and basically I just slept all weekend. Like, Saturday, Sunday was just sleep, and more. So it was like my body was just trying to absorb as much sleep as possible. But also, can I tell you guys, in a very weird way, I was already plotting on possibly taking this week off from the podcast, right? And I was going to announce it next Wednesday. I was going to probably end up taking this week off on the podcast and only do the show on Wednesday that we'll be doing live at Sharky's, right? Because I was feeling like I may need a break. I was feeling like, no, your body may need to take a little mini rest. No doubt, here I am thinking it. You know, they say power of attraction. All of that came watching, like, you know what? Yeah, you ain't gonna do it right. You gonna find a way to still stay up, do something, whatever. Go get hospitalized. I still got the little scarf from the IV. You know they had to give your boy a little drip. Wow. All right. Is that? Damn it. See. Damn it. I'm forgetting your real name. What was going on? How you doing? Welcome to the podcast. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you popping in for like half a second. I know what's going on. You guys see him real quick. You pop up, try to say, hey, let me see what T's crazy ass is doing. Then you just see him over here just yapping in front of the MyT screen. Yeah. Right? You're like, ah. Oh, Brooke Lopez for 3. That rattles in and out. And the $40 million man, Chris Middleton, causes a turnover. Slightly. All right. Oh, man. Speaking of $40 million man, we were just talking about this. So, I was really thinking about taking off this past weekend. I really was. I mean, this past week. Because, also, I think for the last couple of weeks now, you've heard me trying to bank sleep over the weekends or catch up on sleep over the weekends. And it's been hitting for a while now. I'm telling you. Something, you know what happened? It happened to be you guys. I can't say something drastically changed. You guys. It was you. All the love and support that I get on the live shows on Wednesdays, right? It makes it extremely difficult for me to do a show, pack up, and get right the fuck out of Dodge. Right? So I do appreciate all you guys for it, right? It's because of all of your engagement, all of your interactions, the questions afterwards, right? The things that go on when the cameras aren't the things that go on when the cameras aren't rolling, the questions that get asked when the cameras aren't rolling, the interactions, the exchange that we have when the show is over, those interactions afterwards. And listen, just blessings on blessings on blessings, right? So once that started out, and I wasn't able to get home on a decent time on Wednesday, then that just started snowballing a big thing. But listen, it's what happens. It's what happens. I knew these do's and don'ts. But that's enough about me. So I just had to get you guys caught up, right? Let you guys know what happened to me, why we haven't had a show in a week, why the complete disconnect, but also why you saw the notification. If you guys follow me on Facebook, then you definitely saw the notification go out, and the MyT Sports Podcast would not be airing due to medical reasons. You saw the live post on TikTok and on Instagram that should have let you guys know that MyT Sports Podcast will not be running this week because due to medical reasons. You guys saw the image of me in the hospital. So I'm out. Everything's good. We back in MyT fashion. Like I said, there's still a little throb going on right around this whole entire area. But like I said, we'll see the doctor and the optometrist soon, and we'll start ruling out anything else. But yeah, there's a whole lot of pressure going on right in this side. Right in this side, like right here. It's a nuisance. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't say that I wasn't a little bit happy that I didn't have to be around last week to have to talk about certain individuals that are no longer relevant in their sport. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you. Big talk too. You know what? Oh man, hold on 1 second, because I don't even think we're gonna be able to talk about this because Arian Foster dropped the bomb on the NFL, like on the sports world, right? And the memes that have been generated, I don't know why I said it like that, but the memes that have been generated from this has been fire, complete fire, because Arian Foster came out and said, "Yo, the NFL is scripted." It's like, yo, you know what? He was like, and I think people took it a little bit too far, right? So I still haven't heard the whole interview yet either, but it sounds like what he was describing was about when you're gonna take, like when they want you to rest, what referees have tendencies to make bad calls, this kind of to make certain kind of calls. That's what it sounded like. If you want to think of it inside the box or outside the box of what he said, if you're just going by what he may have just said, he just said like the NFL was scripted, and like you know who's gonna win, you know who's gonna lose, you know who's gonna get injured. So Arian Foster basically was like, "Yo, I knew for 3 years I was gonna be good, and then after that, it was gonna have me injured, and I was never gonna come back and be the same again." And I'm like, yo, but also remember, this is the same Arian Foster too. Back in the day, that he was, damn it, he was a free thinking form of being. Let's put him that way, right? Guitar playing, poetry, listening to, you know what I mean? Like, you understand, like that Chicago, I don't call it Chicago step scene a little. So, like, you may remember Arian Foster for different things, but now he is wholeheartedly being remembered, right? Just for simply saying the NFL is scripted. And now you start seeing Cam Newton when he gets his script, when he's told that he's not allowed to jump on the ball. You see it. You saw how LeBron James reacted the other day to losing that, to not getting that foul call, right? They're showing that reaction as Kyle Shanahan's like Kyle Shanahan reading his quarterback script every single year, right? Like, oh, yo, Arian Foster single-handedly started probably one of the most hilarious sports meme waves in our most recent memory. Like, you understand? Like, this is gonna be up there for a while. Like, I don't know if it's gonna have the staying power of crying Jordan. Sorry. I just got reminded of Michael B. Jordan's Saturday Night Live skit where they talked about people thought that he was crying on the sideline over his breakup. But fortunately for him, when you look up crying Michael Jordan, right, there's about you have to go through 80,000 pages of Michael Jordan crying before you even see one picture of him. That's hilarious. But I don't know if it's gonna have the kind of staying power as the Michael Jordan crying meme, right? But this is gonna be around for a while because that NFL script is and Arian Foster saying the NFL is scripted is a doozy. And I'm telling you right now, I believe him. I believe him because it's the only way that he who shall not be named anymore on this show, because he is no longer relevant to the sport of football, can win 7 rings. It's the only way. We saw it. We saw it live. Tuck rules, spy gates, deflate gates, loaded teams. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Like, and again, and now it comes to answer my question. I always find it weird. How can you be up 28-3 and as much as you blame the offense, right? But you know what? Nah, they're all to blame. Offense and defense. Like, get stop offense. Put up at least 2 more. You know you can't put up another field goal? Another field goal? Some of these historic crumbles, right? Comebacks. It only can make sense because it's scripted. It's the reason why you had to sit on pins and needles for 2 decades of watching football. I so love football more now. You guys have no clue how much more I love football now. All right? It's so much better watching football these days. Automatically, like the sun, like I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. That's just probably the best thing that came out of last week. Is that I was not forced. What's going on, KJ? I was not forced to talk about an individual that is no longer relevant in their sport. What a beautiful day. That's the only good thing. That's the one good thing that really came out. Like I got some deep rest, and I didn't have to talk about certain individuals and their beneficiary scripts. Yo, Arian Foster. Yo, where is it? Yo, you know what? I'm glad for that one. Arian Foster left us with a Kanye moment. Arian Foster really came in there and threw a whole entire wrench into the system. Like, you know what, NFL? You know what, NFL? Like, everybody likes you, everybody thinks, no, you know what? Here, let me just go ahead and drop this bomb. But you know what's funny though? It's not gonna. It's not. You know what? Even that, and this is how you know people are fake. Even if the NFL, even if people find out today, right, or if what Arian Foster said was true, and the NFL is scripted, I guarantee you, just as many people are coming back to watch next year. and the year after that, and the year after that, because they still want to see who the hell is going to end up winning at the end of that script. They want to find out, hey, who's going to be your next champion. I don't care how we get there. I want to find out now who you going to be. Who's going to be decided to hold their hands up and be like, yo, acknowledge me. And I'm going to love it because then you'll be just like WWE fans. Look at that. Arian Foster said what he said. And you know what? This Super Bowl is going to be the highest rated Super Bowl of all time. When people thinking it's scripted. Watch me. Watch how there's this weird sudden spike in ratings this year. Watch. It ain't because there's two brothers playing, going up against each other for the first time in the Super Bowl. No, it's not because of that. And when I say two brothers, I mean at the quarterback position, not at the tight end. Get your head out the gutter. I'm back, baby. I'm telling you, my mind is flowing and it's going. I'm telling you, it's showing too. If I'm smiling, I'm wilding. I'm telling you, I'm wilding today. Oh, I'm wilding today. I see Damian Lillard talking about a foul call. Okay, let's see here. We see Lillard with 11 at the half. Anthony Simmons. I wish I could remember his first name. With 11 at the half as well. You see Brook Lopez with 17 at the half. Chris Middleton with 11. And Giannis Antetokounmpo coming up the fourth highest scorer with the most shots being taken on his team. 4 for 11 with 9 points. Buy one, get one 50%. Buy one, get one free. Happy hour. 3 to 6. 3 to 6. Where is this at? Listen to this Buffalo Wild Wings. Yo, you know what? I miss Buffalo Wild Wings. I remember Buffalo Wild Wings first came to Indianapolis, Indiana. And I remember we used to go there all the time. Yo, those wings was fire. We used to get the jerk ones all the time. And people used to be like, yo, this joint is hot. I'm like, yo, this is nice. It's not even hot. This is a good steam. You know what I mean? That's like getting toppy before getting copy. You guys understand what I'm saying, right? Copy. Cleveland beats Washington 114-91. Donovan Mitchell goes off for 21.6 rebounds. Evan Mobley 16 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Donovan Mitchell will also have 5 assists in that game. We'll see Kristaps Porzingis dropping 18 points and 7 rebounds, and Barton adding 15 along with that as well. Don't tell me Bradley Beal is injured again. The Clippers beat the Brooklyn Nets, and we'll talk about the Brooklyn Nets in just a second. Paul George goes off with 29 as Kawhi Leonard drops 24 to go along with that. They both would contribute with 4 rebounds. Cam Thomas would drop 47 points in a game where there's no Kevin Durant and no Kyrie, right? Goes 7-11 from 3-point range and gets 4 rebounds as well. Thomas becomes the second youngest player to score 40-plus points in consecutive games. The only other person, LeBron James. Wait a minute. How old is Cam Thomas at this point? Because Cam Thomas, okay, we're talking about age-wise. But you know what, though? That's what you get for playing time, though. And also style of play and who they have the ball in their hand. Because you have to think of it in perspective, right? Jordan does it early in his career, but no longer becomes the youngest person to do it because they start letting high school players in. And so you get the influx of guys like Kobe, Kevin Garnett, and whatever, who end up, and even eventual LeBron James end up breaking these records, become the youngest player to do X, Y, and Z. But sometimes not always doing it in the shortest amount of time in the league or shortest amount of games played. You understand? Like, when I hear, oh, he's the youngest, but he may be the youngest player to do it. And it took him 2 years to do it when the player that did it in their first year or did it in their first 40 games. You understand? That's why something that youngest thing always gets to me, because there's a lot of nuance into that. I didn't remember that youngest record got protected for 2 decades because after LeBron James, they wouldn't allow anybody else to come out of high school about, within like 5 years after that. Like 3 years after that. So then all the youngest records were kind of protected. Actually, still kind of is protected, but all those youngest records were end up being protected because nobody else can come into the league the same way LeBron James did. So nobody else has even had the opportunity. Really, since LeBron James, Dwight Howard, I think it was right around the time of the last set of waves. Like it was of individuals. I always find that interesting, right? Where even I'm thinking about Amari Stoudemire now. That if Amari Stoudemire would have done 1 year of college, and then come out, Amari Stoudemire would have been in the same exact draft class as LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Carmelo Anthony. Yep. Remember, Amari Stoudemire comes up the year before out of high school, out of Orlando or someplace like that, or something like that, around that area. But he comes out right out of high school. He does 1 year of college, and he's in their draft class. I know. You know what's weird though? It took me a while to realize that because, oh shit, the NBA Board of Governors approved the sale of the Phoenix Suns and the Mercury to the ownership group of Matt Ishbia, President and CEO of United Wholesale Mortgage. Ishbia agrees to purchase both organizations for $4 billion. Okay, so the Suns own good. I understand people are like, well, that's good about it. He got $4 billion off of something that good. But he no longer has to be in charge of people that he no longer despises or he thinks completely lesser than. You know what I mean? Or nobody has to work for him as. Let's just put it simple. Nobody has to work for the Phoenix Suns owner as a racist piece of shit, and has to worry about. And I have to constantly worry about that person, be underneath that person's umbrella, not knowing when their racism is ever going to kick in, or when their racism is playing a choice in their decisions. But sometimes, because what happens is that, see, in the world of business, right, and business decision making, you can hide your racism by calling it business morals. You can. And we've seen that for years. Or that's just that, or just calling it that's just how business goes, and just by the way you negotiate. Like, so a lot of people mean that invisible glass ceiling, because you never know who are the racists out there that are, even though it looks like they're giving you opportunities, they really aren't giving you the real opportunities that would help you further without you having to again jump through massive hoops. That's why I said you have to do twice as much to get the same exact thing. That's what's meant by that. I guess Black History Month, we're gonna be giving you guys all kinds of history lessons, and it looks like Warriors guard up to 27 points with 7 threes and a 6. You know what? And I think I am switching over to that Thunder game because apparently Klay Thompson is going off. Hold up. Sorry. And I think that game is at the half too, but what's gonna end up happening here is that I'm just gonna switch feeds. Oh no wonder I'm on NBA TV. I'm like, why want to do what you normally do? No wonder the feed has been so good. I was on NBA TV. I was wondering why this game feed was not acting up. Everything was running all smoothly because it was the NBA TV feed. I'm sorry. I told you guys before in the past. Like, the NBA app is really basura when it comes to the Fire Stick. So let's do this. Let's get a little bit into this game a little bit. We need to give ourselves some halftime buffer. So I'll pick up right around the 30-minute mark, and let's see what's happening by then. Let's see. Right now, at the 30-minute mark in this feed, Oklahoma City's up 29-24. It's just about 4 minutes left to go, just under 4 minutes go, like 3:55 left to go. Klay Thompson takes a three, and oh my God, I guess he's having one of those nights. You've seen it already. Holy, he's having one of those nights. Okay. So Klay Thompson apparently had 27 points in this first half. Right now, as I'm looking, right, it's 3:26 left to go, and the Golden State Warriors have 27 points. So it's Oklahoma 29. Right now, they have 27. And if I'm not mistaken, right, we're probably not going to see any Stephen Curry in this game. Stephen Curry suffered a leg injury. So far this season, we've seen now a shoulder and now a leg for Steph. Excuse me. So we're gonna have to continue. And so they're talking about Steph now. Oh, Klay catches and he pulls up and he shoots with two people on him. He's having one of those nights. We're already in. By the time I pick this up, he has 18 points and he's 4 for 4 from the 3-point range, shooting 7 for 8. You know what's funny? Klay didn't have two people on him, but what ends up happening, he comes off the screen. The man that he's gunning is still coming across to challenge him. Right? It's still coming across the screen to challenge him. He gets close enough to another man's defender where if he would have put his hand up, right, he could have honestly put his right hand up, and it would have been a challenge from the right side and the left side of that shot. Basically, you would have had two hands up on that play. Maybe something else in his vision, but instead, it's just basically somebody closing out, and Klay not even worry about it because he has that dead eye on. He has the dead eye on Hall of Famer. He doesn't even see him, and he just lets it go. Poor closeout. What's going on, Nat? What are you doing? Aren't you supposed to be on vacation? What is you doing? But yeah, Clay's have one of those kind of games. We're going to fast forward through every commercial or any little disruptor of this game that we see. Somebody not named Klay tried to shoot a three and missed it. Oh man, this has been such a well time off, and then so many different things happened. So we had the retirement that happened that as you can see, we're not going to talk about because anything that we've said about it, we would have said about it last year. So go back and listen to last year's podcast. Right. The LeBron James watch that has continued to go on, and I'm surprised that hasn't come to its crescendo yet. Right? Was that Klay with the hard drive? No, that's not Klay. Somebody else. That's not Klay. It's hard to tell Klay apart as a light-skinned person from the other people that are just, you know what I'm saying. Klay, you know what I mean? Like there's about 3 different Klays on the team, but I can't tell that's not Klay until I can really see that that's not Klay, if you know what I mean. I'm gonna leave it there. It's because of the body build more than anything else. That's what throws it off. It's the body build. Because I don't really confuse any of them with Steph. Even though, you know what? I don't know. I was just about to confuse Klay with Steph. Yeah. Nah, I'm not seeing it. Maybe because I know Steph is out. Maybe if Steph wasn't out, I'd be looking at this call. Okay, where's Klay? Where's Steph? But look at Klay, the drive, the stop, the pull up. And they called him for traveling. Clay never been a big blow by person anyway, but yeah. So, but as we talk about greatness, right? Klay Thompson, 4-time champion. Let's talk about another 4-time champion in LeBron James, right? And as you know, like the LeBron James watch still continues to go on. I have been very ecstatic that LeBron James decided that he wanted to he wanted to take some time off, and he didn't want to play in Brooklyn, which made it 100% impossible for him to break the all-time scoring record playing the Knicks. Now, what I think it does, though, I should have their schedule up, and I'll pull it by the time I probably finish this thought. Right now, but what it did is that it extended when it was going to happen, and now you see the Lakers, a couple of Lakers games being picked up on national television, right? So now we're talking about this breaking of records either happening now in Milwaukee this Thursday or Saturday night in Golden State. Right? And not gonna lie. I'm intrigued by both scenarios, right? Let's pull up LeBron James' career points. Look like somebody's already ahead of me. 3,000. Oh. Because wait a minute. The number in my head is 3,000. Is 38-7. Right now, LeBron James is at 38-35-2. That leaves us with, oh no. This is happening next time he plays. This is 100. So alrighty. So let's put it this way. I doubt LeBron James doesn't score 35 points. But if he doesn't, no, I shouldn't see any reason why it shouldn't happen tomorrow. So I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you where this dialogue was going initially, right? Where I was trying to, where if it was possible, it would be done in Milwaukee or done in Golden State. Now it's still a very slim chance it's done against Milwaukee, but I wasn't even thinking about the Thunder at the time. I didn't realize about this game Saturday and the points that he had just put up. This wasn't in my radar. I don't know why. When it should have been. It really should have been. Because it was the Knicks game. Damn, that was Tuesday? Yeah. That was last Tuesday. I forgot about that. We've been out of it for a week, right? There goes your proof right there. So they beat the Knicks in overtime, right? I mean, that game was disheartening. And then they came back and they beat Indiana by 112 to 111. And then they lose to the Pelicans, who have been struggling since God damn it, number one pick from the RJ Barrett draft. Zion Williamson. Since Zion Wilson's been injured, like the Pelicans have basically been on like an 8-game losing streak, something crazy like that. So they bounced back by beating the Lakers 131 to 126 on Saturday, and now the Lakers' next game is against the Thunder, with LeBron James at 35 points. So worst comes to worst, right? If he's playing all these games, which there's no reason why LeBron James. What? Damian Lillard has 41? Wait a minute. That's like through the third? Jesus. Oh, casual 41 footer. I was like, wait a minute. How the hell he have 41 already? I'm like, I just left that game at halftime. Like, you understand what kind of barrage? Like, if I came to this game, the Golden State game, to watch Klay Thompson put up 27 and a half. You understand what kind of game that Damian Lillard would have performance he would have just had to put up in the third quarter alone to suddenly have 41 points? I think he had 11, if I'm not mistaken, when we at the half. That would have mean like, yo, he just went off for like 10 3-pointers. Oh man, see, jump to conclusions. Oh, got that. Oh shoot, almost took that off. So, okay, so when I was thinking it was between the Lakers and between Milwaukee and the Golden State Warriors, I was like, I can see a reason to want to do it against either one of those guys, right? But I was thinking about being a little vindictive and wanting to do it in Golden State, but nah, I definitely want to do it in front of the Lakers fans. Would have a little bit more steam to it, and I think that's what we're gonna see tomorrow. So I know what I'll be watching tomorrow at 10 p.m. And I'm pretty sure, and if I'm not mistaken, like that's probably going to be a national game now as well. Like that has been picked up, and we're just lucky that there's no NFL games going on. To be honest with you, because we saw, if you're a Knicks fan, we saw what the NFL does to even national televised Knicks games versus Philly in a game that matters against two playoff contending teams. Pro Bowl numbers is doing better. So they're like, yo, we're going to stick with the Pro Bowl. But it's going to be interesting. I'll be locked in that game. As I've been locked into the Lakers almost all season. Actually, guys, let's not get it twisted. We made this prediction 5 years ago. We knew this was coming. We saw the pace. We saw everything. Like go back and listen to season 3 of the podcast. Like this has oddly been a thing that we've been keeping track of, right? Because we saw the writing on the wall. And honestly, really, really and truly, the most impressive thing here is that this is the scoring average he has continued to maintain in his 20th year in his career. Or even on the other side of that coin, at age 37, 38, 37. Even because it honestly defies everything everybody before him has ever done. It truly does. He is the GOAT of this generation. And while he may not have the most rings, while he may not have the highest finals winning percentage, he will have one of the most final appearances. He will have the most points in the NBA at one point in time, and that's if Kevin Durant passes him. Not when, if. Because this is still a game of longevity. And nobody has done longevity better than LeBron James. Nobody has done body maintenance better than LeBron James. Actually, the only other person we've ever heard of with this much body maintenance eats avocado toast. There goes your shout out. And the biggest big up I'll ever give him is put him in the same breath as the great LeBron James. Ooh, look at Draymond Green blocking the jump shot. The 3-point jump shot. We're going to see what happens. Sacramento Kings still the best team in the West. Still the best team in Cali. You know, it's crazy, like, because, Stephen Curry's not there with the Golden State Warriors right now. But even though they lose even though they lose some of their sizzle, they don't lose any. They don't lose all of that steam. And you still hear that them fajitas cooking and coming down there on that hot plate. Is that really the best thing about fajitas? Because other than that, fajitas really basic, right? Like, is fajitas really the hey, look at me of meals? Because really, we're just talking about some sauteed onions and peppers, and thinly sliced steak, not very well seasoned. And then whatever you have on the side. Like, we're talking about, like you're saying fajitas, but we're just talking about fresh tacos, fresh soft tacos, fresh burritos, fresh enchiladas. That's what we were talking about. That's what you make out of it, right? Hey, I'm saying, listen, don't come after me. Don't come after me. I forgot. I can't fast forward through these gosh darn commercials. But this feed has been running really well. So is it just the New York games? You know what? I'm gonna let you be. I'm gonna let you be. Because also, you know what? You know what it also could be? I'm trying out a different Wi-Fi today. I'm trying out the Wi-Fi that I'm going to be using now when I do my shows again remotely at Sharky's, right? Because I know that we've had some unreliability in the past, and always trying to make sure things are running good and as smooth as possible. Wanted to eliminate that. Yeah, I really want wings now. I think I know exactly what I'm getting tomorrow at Sharky's. Hot honey barbecue garlic wings. I like it a little extra hot though. You know what I mean? Like, thank you. That's that Jamaican in me. I can't help it. Blazer store knocks down the okay. That's NBA TV now catching up where NFL where ESPN already informed me of 5 minutes ago. Gotta step up your game, pimpin'. Gotta step up your game. This is you. How you letting them talk about you faster than you talk about you? Let them have their tartar sauce. Yo, I'm not the only person. Yo, ever since that one episode in The Simpsons, where they was trying to make like Homer chief compliance officer, whatever the hell they was trying to make him, and he was about, like the guy's really in the thing, like he's a little bit of extra tartar sauce, with the thing, like tartar. So like, yeah, so fine, let them have their tartar sauce. But can I tell you though, there are some things that just don't taste right without a good tartar sauce. Like, ooh, who had a good fish and chips that I had the other day? Was it not Duffy's? Bonefish and Matt, maybe. A Bonefish and Grill. I think it was there. That I tried their fish and chips, and it was really decent. It was really proper. They got some good meals there. I gotta try their chicken fingers there and see how those come out. Those didn't look half bad. Hey, the Chase Center. So, luckily for us, right? We continue to talk about LeBron James, right? The great LeBron James, you generous King LeBron James, right? I'm a sidebar for half a second. I'm really liking the era that's following LeBron James's era already. The non-LeBron era, I'm gonna be really happy for, because I feel like the LeBron era was very kumbaya-ish. And look, he probably did it early in his career where he built a friendship with everybody and was trying to learn from everybody and going. early on, like if you guys remember this, when most people were, when it was coming from the era that I grew up in, where everybody, when you watch everybody was still kind of at each other's throat, and while they were kind of friends, they were really cutthroat to each other. Where everybody wasn't all but like remember LeBron James' era kind of was the beginning of social media. So like I think it was different. I think it was really, really different. Right? Where social media in a weird sense brought them together more as they all grew into it more. Now these guys are already born. These guys have already been born into it that are playing in the NBA. Right? Like, or not kind of born into it. Social media has already been a regular, everyday part of their lives. Actually, yeah, some of them are born into it. God damn. A nigga older than a bitch. Oh, man. Yo, speaking of old, right? What did we get the other day, right? My mom got something. Oh, my mom got a new TV for Thanksgiving. Got it on Black Friday. Walmart had one of those on TVs, the old ends, right? And it comes with Roku TV or whatever. And yo, this thing came with an it's actually when you try to set up for like the regular TV channels, like the antenna TV or whatever. It asked if you require channels 2 or 3 for a VCR. I was like, for a yo. Granted, I knew exactly what a VCR was. I'm like, yo, for a VCR? Is that what we really doing out here? Like, you having VCR connections out here? That's what we asking people about. They're also thinking, like, how many people did they confuse with this? Do you need channels 2 or 3? Right? First for that part. And then when they asked them if they needed it for a VCR, they're like, yo, what is it? How many people was over there like, hey, yo, Google, what is a VCR? Right? How many people, I have to find out, right, since they, like, around Thanksgiving, how many searches for, oh my God. So I just fast forward to what, because, okay, I just fast forward from somewhere like right around the end of the second quarter where the Golden State Warriors just went up by like 3 or 5 points. Right? So I came back to a little bit closer to live as Jordan Poole does a step back 3 and he makes it. We're right underneath the 3-minute mark at the end of the third, and the Golden State Warriors are now up 93-71. These are one of those games where I'm gonna have to go back and I almost didn't even look at this game. I'm gonna have to go back and watch this game tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow during the day when I'm looking for something to watch, Oklahoma City and Golden State Warriors will be one of them because I want to see how this happened, and I want to see this crazy, let's I like to call him Sugar Clay Thompson. I want to see that crazy Sugar Clay performance. Like I really want to pay attention to those 27 points. So, you know what? Since I'm going to come back and watch this game anyway, right? I am going to switch over this feed, and let's take it back to the old school. Let's take it to Union Square. Let's go watch Giannis and Damian Lillard continue to battle that out. Let's see if this game is still close. It wasn't really close to begin with. This game has ended? What? What? I don't know why does it go back. See? That's what I'm telling you. See, now it's back to acting normal. Come on, this game has ended. Okay. Now, there's no way this game could have ended. We just left you in the third quarter. Like, we just left you. I don't know what it was trying to pick up a while ago. And it gave me a score, too. I should have read it. You gave me a score for like half a second. Okay, so back to reality. All right, this current game is 79-66. Milwaukee is up by 13. And we have 4:15 left to go in the third. Looks like somebody. Look at Brook Lopez is going back to the line. When we saw Brook Lopez at halftime, I think he had like 17 points, leading all scorers. At that time, Giannis only had 9 at the half. Anthony and Damian Lillard both had 11. So let's see where all of these guys are at now at this current time. I forget where Chris Middleton was at, but I do know that Giannis was the fourth leading. He was the fourth highest scorer on his team at half with 9 points. And Brook Lopez was leading all of them with 17. Chris Middleton was probably the one that had 11 as well. Was it 11? I can't remember. But I do know that Anthony and Damian Lillard both had 11 apiece. We'll see what things are now. Let's take a sidebar, right? Let me give a quick big up, a little big shout out real quick, right? Big up, right? It's a little quick big up to Jose Alvarado, right? Jose Alvarado, you guys may know, second round pick. I'm lying. Undrafted player for the New Orleans Pelicans. You guys may know him best for his inbound steals, right? Or just being able to, it reminds me now of this Japanese anime now, the basketball one, right? This basketball anime. That's what I meant to say. This basketball anime. I forget the name of it, right? Because it seems like he hides his presence on the court, and right when you're not paying attention, bam, here goes a steal, and he's gotten everybody. He's gotten Chris Paul. He's gotten Ja Morant. He's gotten Stephen Curry, Kyrie Irving. He's gotten all of them, right? Fred VanVleet, the guy in Miami. I'm forgetting his name suddenly. Kyle Lowry, right? Like all of them, right? He has gotten all of them. Well, as you know, that he not only has he worked himself into a guaranteed NBA contract, and now has become a regular player in the Pelicans rotation and in the NBA, and recognized now by all of his peers. I do mean recognized, but also the big up goes to Jose Alvarado, also getting his first signature sneaker deal. Yep. Jose Alvarado now has his first signature sneaker. So that's where he gets the dig up. That's where he gets that from. So let's get back into the great LeBron James. Because the great LeBron James, right? He ends up breaking while he didn't end up breaking the NBA scoring record in New York last week. He ended up doing something else significant in the all-time pantheon of things, right? And that was he moved up to third place in assist, passing Mark Jackson and I'm forgetting the other guy he passed because he's still behind Jason Kidd and John Stockton. Yeah. Who did he pass? Ooh, I wrote it down. Sorry. See? That was something this was about last week. Like, don't make fun of me. I told you guys I was hospitalized last week. Like, some of this is in memory and some of this I forgot I wrote down, right? So he ended up passing Steve Nash and Mark Jackson, right? That was on fifth and fourth. So now LeBron James has cemented himself right now at third. Now, believe it or not, There's a place where LeBron James could become second. And I've asked this in the past, right? And it's funny, right? Because I know what I've gotten in the past, but I've asked this in the past. If LeBron James, right, finishes first in scoring, top 3 in assist, right? 2 or 3 in assist, because he's not gonna pass John Stockton. Like you understand, the only way he passes John Stockton is if he plays for 28 years and starts maintaining it. You understand, it'll have to be something extra, because John Stockton sits at 15,806, and to my memory, John Stockton averaged double in assist his whole entire career, and John Stockton almost played 20 years. If I remember, maybe like 15. I feel like he played like 20 though. But either or. But that's the kind of numbers that John Stockton was putting up. He put up a double, but also that goes to show you how impressive that LeBron James. But it was that longevity. See, and I'm not gonna knock LeBron James's longevity, because longevity is part of being great. You understand that there are players through history that the only reason why we don't consider them as good as other people is not only just because of the amount of rings that they didn't win, but also just because they weren't able to last as long. And that longevity is what separates them. Is somebody being able to be great for 12 years versus 3 years. Being able to do what's necessary to make sure you're great for 20 years is 8 years. Like some of that matters. And for the ones that can't do longevity, you need to stop finding ways to keep them in the NBA. Because that's kind of what's going on, right? You see when players are talking about, hey, let's reduce this down to 72 games, or let's reduce it down to 60 games. No. You reduce the league down to 60 games, 72 games, and now you're able to keep some of them. You start turning to probably the WNBA. I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. Meaning that you're not rotating people out enough, right? But now you're just finding ways to hold on to people that normally shouldn't belong in the NBA. Reduce the game so you can hold on to guys like Ben Simmons. Like why? Like, no, part of your greatness, right? Or let me explain what I mean. Or allowing it to be reduced down to 72 or 60 games, allowing you to keep people in the league that don't love basketball or don't love their sport. Because trust me, there's a lot of people that just play sports because, you know what, I was told, and it just happened to be the thing that just kind of like fell here. It was the family business. I don't have a real passion for it. It's just kind of what I do for my job. There's no real. We see with Kyrie Irving. Like once he won the championship, his love really to cheat, and you've heard him say it. He reached the pinnacle already. What is he going above and beyond and extra for anymore? Like really, when it comes down to it, like the people for those 82 games, you want the people that really, really want it. If you don't really want it, it helps weed those guys out. Mentally or physically. And also, we all know that the only reason why it's even being talked about this so much is because the salaries have gone up on a yearly basis so much that now players that don't want to play 82 games, it's like, well, now if I'm making $40 million a year for 1 year, why do I need to play all of these games? And we're talking about 40 millions for the Chris Middletons of the world. Not calling Chris Middleton out as one of these people that are impassioned about the game. I'm just saying that these are the kind of talents that you guys are trying to bend the rules to hold on to longer. You're not reducing it to hold on to the Kobe's of the world. You're not reducing it to hold on to the LeBrons of the world. You're not reducing it to hold on to the Kareem Abduls, the Michael Jordans, the Magics of the world. No. Those guys never needed the season reduced. Well, I'm going to take LeBron James out of that equation when I say this next statement. That those guys never needed the season reduced. Because you guys forget, early part in LeBron James' career, LeBron James was taking off. Was taking on about 7 to 10 games early in his career. And that, see, people don't understand. You have to look at these little things, these little snowball things, where people don't take the pride in playing 82 games. LeBron James talks like he has always taken pride in trying to play 82 games, but nah, that wasn't always the case. Go back and look. LeBron James, 78 games. LeBron James, 72 games. LeBron James, 75 games, 77 games. It wasn't until he became more of an elder statesman and became a little bit more conscious of his actions that he tried to start playing more games out. But go look at that. Go really do some research into that. And I know about the Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs things, but you know what? Load management is a whole lot easier and a whole lot more understandable when you're talking about your players that are 12, 15 years in the league and have been in the finals. Listen, like LeBron James kind of can do now, right? And have constantly been in championship runs and finals runs consistently. And you're trying to load and you're really trying to manage injuries and arthritic joints and other stuff like that. Not today when they're just like, hey, you know what? We just need you to take off 7 games just because of we're just now managing the natural course of wear and tear on the body. Okay, cool. So we're gonna get to a place where NBA remember, let me still about saying this too. There's nothing written that says NBA contracts need to be guaranteed. So this whole Kyrie Irving thing, don't be surprised if you really ever really want to talk about reducing games, that then you start talking about no longer having guaranteed contracts, because if you're going to reduce games, then you're only going to get paid this money if you play all these games. So I'm telling you, do not fall for the banana in the tailpipe trick. The players that you end up growing up appreciating and unfortunately at times idolizing, right? But you can't help it because at some point in time you're a child, and and as a child you do childish things like idolize athletes and superheroes and other crazy figures in life, right? So in a world in a scenario, right, or in these situations where you have guys like that can get paid like Chris Middleton, like I said, $40 million. But if they're the ones that are crying like, hey, we can't, like, the vigor of this season is too much, we don't remember the Chris Middletons of the world. We remember the guys that took pride in 82. Looked at the 82 as part of the challenge of being great. As how many of these 82 game seasons can I play out? How many games of this 82 season can I play out and show you I'm great? Because remember, some players really, because remember, load management could be done in game. Load management, depending on some teams, that load management could really be done. Like, you know what? Because you understand it. You see Knicks players load managing? Like, seriously. You hear about Oklahoma City players load managing? Right? So So it really makes you wonder, the people that want it reduced, that just want the season flat out reduced, why do you really want to reduce? Is it really about load management, or is it really that, you know what, you just don't love the NBA, you don't love basketball, and so that means you don't like having to play 82 games in a season? But then again, you reduce that to 72 games, and that same person finds a way to only have to play 60. And then what? This is why you can't reduce it. Because no matter how far down you reduce it, there's always going to be those group of people eventually, right? That cap, that number becomes too much for them in their eyes. That's too grueling. Remember, NBA contracts are only going to keep going up. I'll rather have somebody get paid $100 million a year to play 82 games than to get them and to pay them $100 million a year to play 58 scheduled games. You understand? Like, no. Like, I'd rather you be injured. And at that point in time, we'll see what the contract, what the verbiage of contracts come out to be. Back to the topic, right? Because all this stems from LeBron James in a weird way, right? We was talking about, and that is the greatness of LeBron James. And I've posted this question for years because we've seen this coming for years, right? Based off his averages, you like around year 20, you knew what was about to happen right now. So now you start asking, and I've asked this before: if LeBron James finishes with as the all-time scoring leader, and then either number 2 or number 3, but basically top 3 in assists, with more appearances than Jordan, even though he's one less, does he become greater than Michael Jordan to you guys? And when I've asked this question 5 years ago, I got emphatic no's. I asked this question 4 years ago. I got emphatic no's. And I'm talking about hell no. Hell no. I ain't got to eat crate now. Before I can even finish my nah. You've heard KJ on the same show respond to it. But I'm gonna tell you the irony. Right? Because I've asked this last year, and I think I may have even asked it at the beginning of this year. So now as we get close to this event happening, I think within the last week or two, the messages start coming to me now. Hey, LeBron James, your boy Jordan, I don't know if he's going to hold up. And I'm like, well, the people have already spoken over the years, and they've already said it doesn't matter. It's like, man, you tripping. I'm like, this ain't me. This isn't me. You guys have said this. I've presented this question to you guys for the last 5 years. And for the last 5 years, you guys have told me, hell no. Before this was a thing to be on anybody's radar, for you to actually see what it looks like. I wonder if that sort of changed some people's mind. That now they see what it looks like. But they're like, man, I don't know. But I'm going to tell you something, though. LeBron James posted out a tweet recently, right? And in this message, right, in this tweet, in this post, he asks, I wonder if it's me. Sometimes I wonder if it's me. And the answer is yes. It is you. And I know it's hard to see. And I keep saying this to people. It is hard to see. But you know it's there. When Jordan came back and played with Washington, while Jordan could average 20 points a game, and even within the last 5 years, right? Even some, I want to say even sooner than that, right? More recent than that, right? We hear stories of Jordan still being able to bust some people's ass in one-on-one games. Team up, play with the bench players of his rosters and beat his starting lineup. Still to this day, we're still hearing stories of this. Cool. Because you know what? These guys will always be great. But at some point in time, your ability to affect winning changes. I don't know what it is. I don't know how it comes about. I don't know what slightly becomes missing. But what happens is that we see the other little things. We see the effort. But is it the same speed? Is it the same explosiveness? Hey, now is it similar? Not is there glimpses? Is there glances? Right? Do we see it? No. Is that presence there all the time that affected winning? We saw all of our greats make runs with teams that we're like, you know what? Sometimes you had a great team. Sometimes we don't know how you took it, how you took this team that far. And then you go and look at them in other teams, and then you're like, oh, look at them still being able to affect winning. And then after a certain amount of time, we're like, I see him putting up the points. I don't know why his team isn't winning anymore. I see them doing this. I don't know why they're... We saw it with Kobe. We saw it with Mike. We saw it with Kareem. We saw it with Shaq. Now, some people's... This is also why I don't care to have the NBA season shortened. Because some people's prime and effectiveness on winning is just different. It's long, and some people's is longer than others. You see it with Carmelo Anthony. Think about how long he was being able to put up numbers, but after a while, just not being able to affect winning. Really. I don't know if the players aren't buying into you as much. I don't know if there's just a little less dog in you that, you know, I don't know if there's some places of complaint. I don't think there's really any of that. But something about you no longer affects winning. The stat that matters the most. You're still a great player. You still do great things. You're still accumulating great accolades. But what you do still affect winning? And when it does affect winning, does it affect winning when it matters the most? While that answer was yes for LeBron James 40% of the times, it was a no for James Harden 100% of the times. See? Truly affect winning. So when LeBron James asks, is it me? It may be you, pimping. Even though you're still giving it your all. Even though you still put on a run of 40 points scoring that was absolutely phenomenal. At your age or at your at your time in service in the NBA. Right? Or time on the court in the NBA. Now Portland is just getting smashed. 107 to 85. And like I said, once I see some scores, we'll see what's happening with the rest of this and see how that scoring went from halftime till now. Actually, maybe we'll just wait till the end of the game and see how that. As you see, Anthony just made a drive to the lane gets the and one. It's 87 to 109 as he takes what's his name, Grayson Allen off the dribble. I can't stand Grayson Allen. Like I know the Knicks were talking. Oh, trade deadline is coming up. Second hour of the show. Second hour to the show. We're gonna talk about a couple of moves, NBA and WNBA. Oh man, if you're a New Yorker, you have been through a roller coaster of emotions when it comes to player movement on the hardwood. But I've asked that question about LeBron James so many times in the past, and so many times has it come back with response? No. I find it really ironic, and I find it kind of funny that suddenly, as he gets this close, that now I'm the one that's being presented with the question, and when I respond to that person, when I respond to the people that are asking me no, and I tell them, like, and I have to explain, like, yo, this isn't my answer. This is the answer that what of data that I have accumulated over the last 5 years. The people have told me this is no. LeBron James, yeah, you may be the one that's affected that you. It may be you. It may be you. Now, let's see. We have the call that we have to take a hard break for over on Podbean, folks. And if you don't know, this show is brought to you by Blue Chew. What is Blue Chew? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Pull it up for me. So glad you asked. If you don't know what Blue Chew is, Blue Chew just happens to be a little blue pill that can get you back your thrill. All you have to do is open up a pack and head straight to the sack. Listen, just a few chews before you do. This has the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so this is one opportunity that you just can't miss. For a very low cost, you can beat it up like a boss, and she will love how you come through like a champ when you Blue Chew in advance. And if you would like to try Blue Chew, you can use my promo code of GSSS. Yeah, that's Golf Sierra, and you can get your first order of Blue Chew for free. Yes, folks, for the free. We're talking about like Kanye free. We're talking about like for the free 99. Because the only thing you have to pay for is shipping and handling, which is only like $4.99, $5. Right? Other than that, is Blue Chew, right? Like it's you and Blue Chew, and whoever you want to do it with. Because when it comes to Blue Chew, there's only 2 instructions that you need to worry about. You chew it, and you do it. And you know what they say: if you have an erection that lasts over 4 hours, then you better call her back in there for another round. Because tell her you ain't done yet. Exactly. So listen, if you tend to drink too much every once in a while and you suffer from whiskey dick, Blue Chew it. Natural cure for whiskey dick. Let's say that, you know what? You are G in the bed and you go 6 to 8 rounds all the time. Blue Chew it. Go old school. Go 15 and 18 rounds. Just go 12. Yo, it really doesn't matter what your reason is or what your preference is. You just listen. You just want to try it because, like, yo, I just always wanted to know what this is about. Blue Chew it. You was talking a bunch of smack in the DMs, right? Like, how about you wanted to blow her back out? Blow her back out? Blue Chew it. You know what I mean? Shorties, he was talking all that smack about he was about to blow your back out. Listen, don't let him fail you. Throw him a Blue Chew. Get that incredible Hulk inside of him. Let him smash your back out. I'm just saying. Whether you need it or you want it, when you Blue Chew it, neither one of you is going to regret it. Blue Chew. Yeah. So, let's move over to New York, right? Let's get into New York for a second because we spent a lot of time on the West Coast a while ago. Oh, before we get there, before we go there, I was getting ready for the show. Hold on. I was getting ready for the show, and I think I saw one of my. I think, damn it, sucks. I think I saw one of my friend's moms passed. That sucks. I really hope that's not true. But I think I saw one of my friend's moms passed. I don't know why I keep wanting to call her Daisy, but I don't think her name is Daisy. I'll call, but I don't even know. I'm trying to remember your first name, and all I do is call you Mama Hargrave. Hey. See, I'm gonna make sure. I have to make sure I double check on him and see how he's doing, and see if this is a rumor or not. I really do think I saw what I saw. And my condolences. Rest in peace to Mama Hargrave. This really does suck. This is why you can't have listen, man. You can't have any gripes with your parents at this age. You understand, we're at this weird age right now where, and you know it's funny, I heard the comedy special, Dion Cole, I think he said it best, where there's a group of us right now, we're coming to that stage where we're kind of just losing our parents. And shit ain't gonna be right. Makes me wonder too how my parents went through this, because that's when they lost theirs. But yeah, no, that big dog, rest in peace to Mama Hargrave, for real, for real. I completely, I have to double check on that one, because if that one's true, we're gonna have to make sure that we're there for our boy. Yeah, and if you're wondering about the name, yeah, I was just wishing her daughter happy birthday for the 31st of January. So let us continue with the Mighty Sports Podcast, right? Damn, that one just hurt. That one hurt my heart. It really did. Let's get this off the screen. So, what were we talking about? So, very recently we've had the WNBA free agency that passed. And also, we are also in the middle of the NBA free agency. And one of the biggest names in the NBA has pulled the thing that he always he did what he does, right? And I can't even be mad at Kyrie. Kyrie asked for a trade. Kyrie Irving went out there and he asked for a trade. And I can't even be fully mad at him, right? Anymore, because we all at this point in time just kind of know what who Kyrie is. Kyrie doesn't want to be. He doesn't really care where he plays at. It's just who's gonna pay him for him to play how and when he wants to play. Kyrie Irving has been balling as of late, and you know what's funny? We were just talking about him as a leader, right? We were just talking about him, how we've liked how he's been conducting himself this year. so far, and then he does this. But no, but Kyrie Irving did ask for ask for a contract extension, and they didn't grant him. They was like, nah, no extension. Like we'll see. Like play some more. So he played. He's been bowling this year, and I probably know how Kyrie's been thinking. Like, yo, I've been bowling this year. Like, how come you ain't paying me yet? Because he's looking at yo the very short side of it versus the grand scheme of things. He's trying to wonder like, yo, how long I gotta keep doing this for you guys to respect to pay me respectfully? God damn. Yeah, I can't wait to watch this Golden State game. You know, later on today, I guess. Right. So, Kyrie Irving doesn't get his contract extension. Then, at some point, there is an offer made to him, but obviously, this offer is very team friendly and has incentives to only pay out the full contract if certain stipulations are made, which really just revolve around nothing more than you would really ask of any regular player. Hey, come to work and play. Can we trust you're going to be here? You'll get a bonus here for this, a bonus here for that. Because again, remember, NBA contracts don't have to be fully guaranteed. It's just the trend have gone that way so long. It seems like NBA contracts are fully guaranteed, but no, they can be broken down like NFL contracts. They can say, hey, we're gonna pay you $150 for 3 years, or we're gonna pay you. I'm sorry, that'll probably still be exactly what he wants, right? No, but he was looking more towards 4 for $200. So you could tell him, hey, we're gonna pay you $120 guaranteed. You will earn the other $80 million if blah 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 is made. And that's how you make it to your full number. And Kyrie was like, yeah, nah, I don't want that. And Kyrie Irving did the thing that he did. Yeah, if you're wondering, if you're just now tuned into the show and you're watching, you're wondering like, yo, is that Tears? Yeah. And realizing today that one of my friend's moms passed. So, Giannis is still killing it. And if I'm the team, like, listen, I fully understand. It's almost like you can fully understand both sides, right? Like, if you're Kyrie, you can understand him not wanting to take that. It's just bad business, right? I'll find somebody that will, like, I'll go somewhere else and find somebody else willing to give me a guaranteed contract, or I'll find another route to where I want to be. I can see. I don't know why Kyrie wants to go back. I guess it's the only time that he's ever won. And if he's trying to chase the promised land again, because now it's starting to seem like it's harder to get to than he imagined. And if he wants to get there, he may have to team up with the guy that helped get him there the first time. But also, looking at teaming up with the guy that is basically him in another form in Luka Doncic. 6'8", 240-pound point guard. Sound familiar? That's the reason why LeBron James is up here in third in the all-time assist list. It's not because he is the. It's not because he's the greatest shooter of all time. Not because he's the great. Listen, even as scoring goes, I don't think we even recognize as the greatest, as one of the greatest scorers of all time. Just constantly up there. Right? How many scoring titles has he won? Nah, let's not go down. Let's not go down that road. Let's go down that road. Right? So I can see Kyrie going to don't mind it being in Dallas, because how did he even feel his best in Brooklyn? He felt like he fit best in Brooklyn when he was playing shooting guard off of Spencer Dinwiddie playing point guard, who ironically was just traded back for Kyrie. You don't even understand how this is even working anymore, right? Then you had, so he was comfortable there. Then he was comfortable playing shooting guard to Ben Simmons playing point guard. He was super comfortable in Cleveland, right, with LeBron James basically being point, right, and him just being the scoring guard, right, or the playing off guard, even though he basically played the point position, but that's where this position that guarded that guarded and went up against Steph. But he was way more comfortable being the off guard on that position in that position, because, like I said, LeBron James is running point. Now he gets that again in Dallas with Luka. And now the guy that he gets isn't scared to shoot again at 6'8", 6'10", whatever he is. Ben Simmons, that is now. Right? The guy that he has at 6'8" and above isn't scared to shoot. The guy that has his bonus hand isn't scared to shoot. And he could put, and right now he's in the phase in his career where he's putting up that James Harden kind of numbers, but he definitely needs somebody to help him win. That could be Kyrie. Because the artist formerly known as Kyrie just wants to go out there, play ball, and put on a mastery performance and try to win games, and maybe he could get another championship there. The West is not that unattainable, where a guy like Kyrie can't help swing the right team if he's playing all season for the right things. Now listen, Mark Cuban may tell him like, yo, if you don't bring him out. I like him going to Dallas. I feel like Luka is the young budding enough star where Kyrie Irving can't fuck with him. Like, he's solid where he's at. Also, this is Luka's country. You're not gonna come in here and fuck, like where Brooklyn was looking for an identity to build, and we know how easily you can. We've heard how easily you can overshadow a guy like Kevin Durant's personality, right? This is Luka's country. Fully recognizes Luka's country. He was drafted here. This is Luka's country. Everything built, grown, bred around Luka. Also, I think this owner is also one of the top noticeable and influential owners in the NBA, right? Where he believes he has the knowledge, structure and infrastructure to keep Kyrie focused, if anything else. Maybe he's able to lure Kyrie with business ventures if he's able to stay focused. Where Kyrie's thinking like, you know what, I'm more than basketball. Well, I can help you be more than basketball here if you can focus on basketball when basketball is here. Because what of a businessman truly in the NBA? I mean, that we really can see and be a part and see in the forefront, that you wouldn't want to be on their good side and aligned with. Like, you don't want to leave on bad terms with Mark Cuban, because if he leaves on bad terms with Mark Cuban, that's a really bad burnt bridge, and that will go as public as anything else. And that's gonna be remembered fully. Like, everything Kyrie Irving already does is already hyper scrutinized. That's gonna be remembered, and it's gonna be shoved in our face remembered. And then when it comes from Mark Cuban, it's gonna be like, oh yeah. So we go. Kyrie is gonna have to super perform. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with Kyrie. He's got the, and then also, who knows if Kyrie this isn't just a pit stop for him to go back to LA. But if you win with Luka, why leave? Right? Like if you win with Luka or get to the NBA championship with Luka, all right, which in a 7-game series like that, like you understand, with Kyrie fully being able to put on his show, like you understand. Like I don't see anything being able to give it that. You understand? We're about to see a show. Like Dallas already had a reason that you must watch. Now they have 2, and they have 2 people that are must watch. But now those 2 people, because of the addition of the second person, that second person adds 11,000 additional reasons on why you're now watching. The Dallas team out of that does football that we don't talk about until their owner denounces racism, right? Right. Between that team and the Dallas Mavericks, Dallas got a hell of a show going on for themselves sports wise. If I'm not mistaken, aren't the isn't the Dallas not the WNBA team? Well, I was gonna say their hockey team. Isn't their hockey team pretty decent? But I can't remember. Oh, wait a minute. And then you have the cheating team down there. I don't think that's Dallas. Is that in Dallas? Where? No, that's Houston. Okay. Now we've gone off the rail. But Dallas managed to land themselves Kyrie Irving. And honestly, when I heard that Michael Finney-Smith, right? When I heard that Finney-Smith was up on the trade block, never in 1,000 years was I thinking, oh, he's about to be flipped for Kyrie Irving. Because honestly, that's the kind of talk that a crazed fan would say. Hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and give them let's see if they'll take back Spencer Dinwiddie, right? Because like they love them. They wait, hold on, wait. This is Texas. My bad. Let's see if we can give them Spencer Dinwiddie, right? Like they had him before, and if and he was good for them, and that's basically the guy that Kevin Durant said that he wanted to play with. Remember in the beginning, he was like, "Hey, you see those guys over there in Brooklyn? I want to play with them." Well, Spencer Dinwiddie was one of them, so you give them back Spencer Dinwiddie. That way, Kevin Durant is happy. Spencer Dinwiddie gets him back in that starting lineup. I don't know why I just went surfer dude. And I reckon we give up Finney-Smith, first round pick, 2 second-round picks, and we can get Kyrie Irving. Like, that sounds like some fan-ish. That don't even sound like he was going to be like, what? Finney-Smith and Spencer Dinwiddie for Kyrie? Like, but what else are you going to get for Kyrie? I'll tell you what else you could have gotten for Kyrie. Before, when we was coming back on the air Wednesday, we knew the Clippers were in the mix, right? We knew that Finney-Smith was up on the trade block. So the Clippers were offering Luke Kennard, Terrence Mann, a first-round pick, and 2 first-round pick swaps. Now, if you remember correctly, the Clippers have like first-round swaps all the way out to like 2038. I'm being a little. I'm over exaggerating a little bit. This game is ending. Milwaukee waxed them. But remember, between getting Kawhi Leonard, between getting Paul and then getting Paul George, they have leveraged years upon years of first round picks out. So they're talking first round swaps. They honestly may not be talking about a first round swap until like 2030. Like, come on now. Now they weren't the only ones, right? The Suns were in on this as well. They were offering Jay Crowder, CP3, and some unspecified picks. And then we had the Lakers. They were going to reunited, and it feels so Russell Westbrook and 2 first-round picks. Again, remember, in the acquisition of Russell Westbrook and piecing together this most recent team, the Los Angeles Lakers have also leveraged out a lot of their first-round picks. So who knows when these 2 first-round picks that also can't be in back-to-back consecutive years would have happened. When are we talking? 2029? 2031? So for some of these classes that have just passed, and you wonder, like, damn, where are these picks at? This is what's happened here. Now the Mavs, Spencer Dinwiddie, who they got from Brooklyn. Is it from Brooklyn? Bear with me. I'm trying to remember if Spencer Dinwiddie made another stop first, or if that was the. It's so weird. When I forget about Spencer Dinwiddie, right? When I always think about how many players from the New York Knicks are on the Dallas Mavericks, and I even think about how many New Yorkers or how many former people that played in New York. Period. Yeah, Spencer Dinwiddie. Then you had Tim Hardaway, Reggie Bullock. They had Kristaps Porzingis before they traded him away. Interesting. So Dallas Mavericks, they give up Spencer Dinwiddie. And like I said, they get him back. And like I said, I'm trying to remember. And I think he went straight to Dallas. Where did he? No. They didn't go to Golden State. Because I was thinking, like, wait a minute. Spencer Dinwiddie, but no, Dallas. Why did they trade with Dallas? Was that to get DeAndre Jordan over? Shortly after Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving started playing there, is that why they got Spencer Dinwiddie? Yeah, that was one of the first times they started. Yeah, I think that's how that happened. That was for DeAndre Jordan. I don't even remember what was given up then. Interesting. Then they get Finney Smith, a first-round pick, and 2 second-round picks. And again, Finney Smith in the right situation, as you've seen in Brooklyn, he can ball. If you give him the opportunity, space, and time. We've seen what Spencer Dinwiddie has done, not only in Dallas beside Luka Doncic, but also in Brooklyn beside Kyrie Irving, and also in Brooklyn before Kevin Durant. He still has some of that in him, and that's all you need is some of that in him with Kevin Durant. Right now, Kevin Durant's still out injured. So this Brooklyn team is going to start looking like the Brooklyn team that Kevin Durant fell in love with. A bunch of no-name guys playing gritty, playing hard. You've seen Cameron, Cameron, right? You've seen him drop 47 tonight. This is the kind of stuff that Kevin Durant actually likes to see. His development of these young guys, because then he sees guys that he could possibly start to trust and get the ball out to and actually have fun playing with. in these key moments and clutch moments. Even though you came in and said, yo, this is such a team to be good just because I'm on it. I'm telling you right now, it's not written in stone that Kevin Durant is gonna surpass LeBron James in the all-time scoring list. No. That's not gonna happen. This is an 82 game season. And keep having championship expectations whenever you hear Kevin Durant's name. And if he's not living up to that, then why is he getting this time and this money? See, he's only so much more longer. His body is constantly giving out on him. He isn't the Iron Man that LeBron James has been. Well, he hasn't been the Iron Man that LeBron James has been. LeBron James just started falling apart after age like 35. Is he 37 now? When did he get his first injury? 34? His first year with the Lakers, right? And then we forget about that part about LeBron James too. Is the fact that on top of age, as much as he keeps himself in a great immaculate shape and he looks as incredible as he did in his prime, he's also been injured now a couple of times. There's something. See, all these little things add up to why you're no longer actively effective winning at a high level anymore. But LeBron, I'm gonna tell you what it is. LeBron James is at the point right now where he no longer should be carrying a team. He needs to, if he wants more rings, he's gonna have to do what other similar players in his position at his age has done. See, what LeBron James did early in his career, we've never seen anybody do that so young, right? But now it's only like, oh, I want to be a Laker, I want to stay Bill. No, now is the time to go switching teams every other year and try to get a ring. Now is that time. You're not supposed to do it when you're 20. I guess whatever. You guys are just big weirdos. like you do it in the early part of your career, and then at the latter part you're like, no, now I'm trying to find a home. Now I want to stay with a team. See, you know what? Oh my God! Listen, these players are brilliant. It's brilliant because they flipped the whole system. Before, they used to suck everything out of you, right, in the beginning stages, and keep you trapped to one team. And they used to pay you, lock you into those long contracts, right? Make up money in like the first 2 years. Then like in the third, fourth year, right? We're talking about, like, say, the 7-year contract, right? Try to make money back up in the first 2 years. Third, fourth year, maybe the 5th year, they're really trying to make a championship run for you. And in that 6th, 7th year, if you're out of your prime, then they kind of just use the thing like, well, you're eating up this portion of the thing, kind of just hard to build around this, right? And now you're kind of just trapped there, right, for that long time. And then now at the end, now you're going to look to try to get the championship at the end by switching by over all these teams. And then if you're lucky, maybe you get one out of it. LeBron James flipped it. He was like, you know what? I'm going to do this while I'm young. I'm gonna flip and hop on all these damn different teams while I'm young to try to try to accumulate as many chips early, right? And then keep resetting my money. Don't get locked in the 7-year contract, obviously outside of the rookie deal, which even that he shortened, right? But don't trap myself into 7-year contracts or anything like that. Keep making sure I get the opportunity to keep hitting that new money mark. I'm giving him big ups here. Don't get it twisted, right? These are all kudos. I'm giving it to your generous king, right? And get as many rings as possible. And then in the back end, be like, damn, now I want a home. Now I want a place for that longevity where I wouldn't mind being there now for 7+ years. But Even while I may be here for 7 years, I'm still not going to allow you to sign me to a 7-year contract. It's still going to be a 2-for, a 2-for, and a 3-for. Like, seriously. It's brilliant, honestly. It really is brilliant. It just looked weird. Like, if you think about it from a business sense, it is brilliant what he did. From a competitive standpoint, from what we grew up as the norm, like, he just did it completely backwards in a weirdo looking way where it doesn't do his legacy justice. But you know, a lot of individuals do things sometimes that don't do their legacy justice. Nobody ever truly does it perfect, right? For as much as we revel in Kobe, right, and his Mamba mentality, he still forced Shaq out of there. That was him not doing it perfect, right? Because him and Shaq should have been together that whole entire time, and they probably would have came away with like 10 rings, right? That's what we assume, right? At least 8. Michael Jordan shouldn't have stepped away from basketball. Probably robbed himself of 2 more rings, possibly get into 8. Then imagine how we're looking at Jordan when he's sitting at 8 straight championships won and made, right? Maybe even 9, right? Versus, sitting right there as the best winner, being, and consecutive straight undefeated winner behind Bill Russell, the Billy Goat of them all. I said Jordan's the GOAT, but remember, there's a Billy Goat. There's still like LeBron James is gonna go down as a GOAT, but there's still a Billy Goat. Don't get it twisted. That guy's named Bill Russell. Don't care. Oh man. So we see what got Kyrie over to Dallas, and we just gotta see now if he wins in Dallas. That's gonna be an interesting thing. And listen, there's gonna be some challenges. There are gonna be some challenges, but it's gonna be now we get some matchups that we really are interested in seeing now a lot more often though. Automatically, you understand, I'm gonna start looking through. Excuse me. I'm gonna start looking through this Dallas Mavericks schedule, right? Actually, let's do that right now. And start highlighting games that we probably are gonna be looking forward to, right? He says, because I can't remember when he said he's gonna start playing. So let's just give him till next week. I think he says he's gonna start this Saturday against Sacramento. But wait, did I just pick up Sacramento's instead? No, I picked up Dallas. Okay, they have a back-to-back against Sacramento. Okay, that's why I looked all crazy. But let's start off with the game in Sacramento. That first game, we get to see Kyrie Irving versus De'Aaron Fox. Sign me up for that. After then, you see him against the Timberwolves, right? While I don't really care about him against D'Angelo Russell, but still sign me up for that. We get to see Kyrie Irving on the same court with Anthony Edwards. Sign me up for that. Then they play Denver, so don't really care. Right? I know what you're saying, but yeah, I don't really care. Right? Unless we're talking about Jamal Murray, right? Is there to contribute to that matchup? And let's see if I can get if I have the potential rosters. Yeah, so unless Jamal Murray, right, is playing in that game, then don't really care. You know what I mean? Like yeah, that's a game I don't mind passing on. They play the San Antonio Spurs. We can pass there. Then after that, we're talking about they play the Lakers. We're gonna want to see that. Then they come over to the East. They play the Pacers. Don't care. They play Philly. We care. There they play the Suns. We care. They play the Jazz. Is this with Jamal? I'm thinking about Jamal Murray. No, I'm not. That's what I'm thinking about. I was thinking about. No, I was in the right place when I think about that one. Right. Then we get them against the Pelicans. Depends if Zion Williamson is possibly playing and where they're matched up at. Like, who's their point? Who's their point over there? Like, yeah, don't care so much about the Pelicans that much. Here goes one of the ones that we do care about, and this is gonna be This is gonna be one of those back-to-back settings. They play the Memphis Grizzlies, and then they play the Memphis Grizzlies. When he goes up against John Morant, we're gonna want to see that. And then they play the Spurs, but we don't care about that. But then they're gonna play the Lakers. That's gonna be a game we're gonna want to see. And then they play the Grizzlies again. That's 3 times in 9 days. Where's the other Grizzlies game? Jeez. This close to the playoffs? That's going to have major playoff implications. They're going to play 3 times in 9 games in March. Starting from March 11th to March 20th. They're going to play the 11th, the 13th, and the 20th. In between that playing the Spurs and the Lakers, and then coming back and playing the Grizzlies. Yeah, you don't want to see that. And then we get they get the Warriors again. I'm gonna say we, my bad. But then they get the Warriors again. Then we see them play. That's what I'm really trying to say. Then we see them play against the Hornets, and maybe we get ball after that. They have the back-to-back against the Hornets, and we get a little ball-on-ball action. Oh man, right? Pacers and Sixers and Miami, maybe Hawks, yeah. Kings, yeah. Bulls, Spurs, and we're talking about playoffs. That's the last 2. That. You understand? This is February 7th. I just gave you the next 60 days worth of basketball. April 9th. 62 days of basketball. You understand? That's the next 2 months. That's all it is. You have 2 months left. And the playoffs is right there. If you're not locked in already, like all you losers that don't come in until after, I'm calling you out. All you losers that don't come in until after football season, like whatever. like you could try to justify how you want. Like you just sound like suckers. Like to be honest, I'm sorry. Like you know how good the NBA season has been, and you know how happy I've been of how this group of NBA players have been. And I started bringing this up earlier. I was even bringing this up earlier. Maybe I was talking to myself like earlier today and thought I said it on air. But this buddy kumbaya era is finally leaving. I'm really liking this new era of NBA players, and I think it's being led by Jason Tatum by the Boston Celtics. They was kind of led by the Boston Celtics a little bit. I feel like it was around their age group, right? Of their draft class that really started it, right? Around that time of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, because LeBron James came in and he really, like I said, I mentioned it. I think it was the first half of the podcast. He created this little kumbaya little era of NBA, right, where everybody was friends, everybody was super buddy, and there wasn't really a lot of venom on the court amongst them, right? Like even like I know like Kevin Durant constantly wants to beat LeBron, but it's still never ever like we never saw it, right? We never got a chance to see it except for once, and even then they were friends at that time, right? Like he was getting all of these young guys to come into his camp and learn moves from them and help them with their game, but was really studying them and learning their moves and their early tendencies so he could conquer them in their game. Like, NFL script. Sorry. Arian Foster, boy, I'm telling you, you're awesome. And these last couple of fights that I've seen, the one with Donovan Mitchell, right, and is it Brooks? Is it Dylan Brooks from Memphis, right? But also, wasn't it the same Dylan Brooks that was getting into it with Shannon Sharp? You see, you know what's happening, right? And I hate to say it, the Memphis Grizzlies are imploding before our eyes right now. Now, granted, they can still bring it back, but they're starting to implode a little. And remember we've been trying. We were trying last week, or maybe the week before, to identify exactly what game the Flashpoint was at, because a Flashpoint was created. And I don't know if you guys have realized this, but the Flashpoint was created by John Morant when Rachel Nichols asked him, Malika Andrews, whoever asked him, when he was asked if, I gotta get an axe throwing sound effect. Right? He was, I need to ask you a question. Be something like that. That's what goes through my. Every time you see me do that, that's what goes through my head. In case you guys are wondering. But now you see how we go left field so easily, right? So, but okay, back to reality. Let me take a little smoke break. So, when John Morant was asked the question, who do you like going up against in the West? Who's been like your biggest rivalry? Who do you see the most? You know, like something like that. Like you know, who do you? I can't even say who you feared him. I can't remember what she asked, but he said nobody. He said Boston Celtics. He said that's who we see. Like, we don't fear nobody in the West. And I was trying to remember if it was that day or if it was after Shannon, the incident with Uncle Sharp, right? And it was kind of a combination of both. Since they made that comment, they started losing every game in the West. I think they had won. They think they were still winning the majority of their games in the East, but they hadn't won a game in the East above a team above a 500 record. You just feel like it was some of these numbers coming out, or starting to reveal themselves. Petroleum free? No, I need some petroleum jelly. It works better than truffle butter. So, John Moran of them have really gone on a spiral since then. And not only do you start seeing them basically losing to every team in the let's pull them up as well. Since we're pulling everybody else up, right? Like since we over here just pulling up everybody's standings, let's look at the Memphis Grizzlies. So They've lost their last. They're on a 3-game losing streak right now as we currently stand. They're sitting at. They're second in the West. Listen, at least they're doing better than the Pelicans. Because the Pelicans were like second in the West, and they lost John Moran. They still lose like 8 of their last. They lost 8 of their last 10. Actually, Memphis Grizzlies have also lost 8 of their last 10. Like that's what's happened. Let's look at these last 8. Let's look at these last 10 games. Let's just take a look at these last 10 games. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Alrighty, so they beat the Cavs on January 18th, right? That wasn't one of them. And then, okay, so here goes the day they talk shit to the Lakers, right? Because look at the games before this. Let's go a couple of games before this. They beat the Magic. Right? Nobody is worried about the Magic, even though I highly talk of the Orlando Magic. Go watch Orlando Magic games. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. If Anthony Cole, Ball, and Banchero are playing, you have a game to see. You have a hell of a game to see. Watch Orlando Magic games, right? So they beat Orlando Magic 123-115. They beat the Jazz 123-118. They beat the Spurs 121-113. They beat the Spurs again 135-129. They beat the Pacers 130-112. They beat the Suns 136-106. I think right around this time may have been the time that they had their interview. Who do you see? Don't see nobody. You know what I mean? They beat the Cavs 115-114. Then they went to the Lakers, and that's when they had that incident. And they lose that game, 122-121. January 20th, 120. Was that Martin Luther King Day game? We'll do some research about that day again. That may have been Martin Luther King Day, right? Then they lose to the Suns. So let's see here. So they take an L to the Lakers. They take an L to the Suns. What am I doing? They take an L to the Kings, who the Kings have been the best team in Cali consistently this whole season. They've been the best team in Cali, right? So they lose to the Kings. I'm guilty of it too, because this whole entire time I've been watching the Kings and sleeping on them. Even it's one of those weird things of watching games and not really paying attention to the score, right? and I've been watching these games and not really realizing who the coach is. And now that I realize who the coach is, if the Sacramento Kings remain the way that they are, right, and finish in the top 6, possibly even the top 4, 5, Mike Brown may be a candidate for Coach of the Year. All facts. But let's continue, right? They lost to the Suns 112-110. Then they lose. Then they get blown out by the Kings 133-100. They lose to the Warriors 122-120. So now we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 straight losses when they lose to the Warriors. They lose to the Timberwolves 111-100. 5 straight losses. Right? They break that and they beat the Pacers 112-110. Right? Then they turn around and they lose to the Portland Trailblazers. Then they lose to the right, and there was a lot of chirping in that Portland Trailblazers game as well too. They lose to the Cleveland Cavaliers, right, when Donovan Mitchell and Dillon gets into a fight. Then they also come around and they lose to the Raptors as well. There goes basically their last 10 games. They beat the Pacers and they beat the Cavs. Before losing to the Cavs. And having players suspended because of this loss to the Cavs. And then we got Austin Rivers over here coming up and swinging on Mo Bamba. I think we was on air. Were we on air? Were we on air when he came in there, caught him with the piece, bing, bing, bing. Got him, put him with the chokehold, like, yo, Had him looking like Cat Williams, not Cat Williams, Carl Anthony Towns, but also like Cat Williams. Oh my God. Oh shit. Oh man, when it slips and it slips it slips perfectly in the right hole. Whew. Shit. Oh, when it slips and she likes it. Oh man, we got 10 minutes left into the show. I'm still wilding, but it's a good thing that I'm wilding. Because if I'm wilding, I'm smiling. I'm just happy to be here. You know what I mean? LeBron James' next game, that's tomorrow night when he becomes the all-time scoring leader. Listen, there's no reason he shouldn't score over 35 points in that game. I understand. It's in the scripts already. It's already in the script. Foster, damn you. It's already in the scripts. But also, the Memphis Grizzlies need to calm down too. Let's also not forget about the incident that they had with they had in Indianapolis. We're talking about Indianapolis Pacers being one of the teams that they beat, but they also John Morant's little entourage, right? His little John Mafia, right? They end up having beef with the Indianapolis Pacers travel team, and now his entourage is banned for a year from NBA games. At least for the Memphis, I know they are. And I know they already talked about it for the Conseco Fieldhouses, which I still remember it as, but I don't know if that's still what it's called now. But you know what I mean. Old school Indiana people, you know what I mean by Conseco Fieldhouse. So he needs to go ahead and just calm down whatever the hell is going on. Remember when his dad first jumped onto the court? We said it first because we saw it here live, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like we saw it here live, but we talked about it here first. That listen, John Morant's dad was lucky that Shannon. We said it, that Shannon Sharp didn't lay him out, right? Because you saw it when Shannon Sharp started flaring out his chest, right? And it's one thing that he was getting into it with Dylan Brooks, and next thing you know, right, like Adams is over, like Steve Adams is over here, like the people are trying to move him, and he's over like, yo, whatever, and Shannon Sharp is like, whatever, I'm right here, I'm right here. When people start coming from the side at you with that kind of chirp or whatever, you don't know who that is, right? Like John Morant's pops could have got snuffed. Somebody else kind of came chirping oddly, and they quickly backed down when they got into the aura. So watch that video again. Really watch it again. When he's over there in flight or flight mode, like I said, which is different. Flight or flight mode looks different for an NFL player than it does for an NBA player. Like Pops, like you're neither one. You're not a celebrity. You're not a basketball player. You're not an NFL player. You're not an athlete. You're a dude in the crowd at this point in time. If you would have gotten popped for no reason, right? Like if he would have caught you with one because you would have gotten too close, like, you know what I mean? And then afterwards, like, nah, see, like I know Shannon Sharp, like he apologized because he's the elder statesman and he's being the bigger man and taking the high road on that one. But he wasn't fully in the wrong there. You know what I mean? Like it's what happens, but it shouldn't have escalated that part. It shouldn't have obviously escalated to where we've gotten to, but whatever. But ever since then, like I said, John Morant first said what he said there, and then like I said, he made his comment there, and that was that flashpoint. Then you see the incident with Shannon Sharp, and that happens. And then, like I said, after that, there's the incident in Indianapolis, which we don't hear about until after the incident happens in Cleveland. Now, while him talking smack on ear is not an incident, it's just a flashpoint. And all of these other incidents happened after that. It's very odd that I have this feeling, right, that John Morant may need to be pulled into the NBA commissioner's office and be sat down and given that talking to that Carmelo Anthony got, that Steve Jackson got, that what am I forgetting? That Matt Barnes got, that I also feel that Zach Randolph got, that Ron Artest got. The only thing different about it, though, when those guys were getting there talking to, it was coming from David Stern. I don't know if Adam Silver, I don't know how much he's learned from David Stern, and if he has that same intimidating factor and or presence as David Stern. Now remember, Adam Silver's a giant of a man, where David Stern is just a little Jewish guy, right? Right. But he may need to get that David Stern kind of talk where you bring him in and you make him realize, like, yo, don't know what's going on, right? Because that thing with the patients make things look make things look real fishy. So there's chirping on the court in LA, and who knows what was going on with your daddy. That's one incident. Then there's issue in Indianapolis Pacers, and then now you're fighting in Cleveland. Let's not get out of hand. Then I see that Shannon Sharp has to give you guys a talk about not being thugs and talking about being strapped up or whatever. I'm like, what the? I'm like, okay. Yeah, it's time for a talk. It's time for the commissioner to step in and sit John Morant down before John Morant ruins a golden opportunity. This is the easy way I can say it. We love the grittiness of Memphis. Memphis has always been known as the grindhouse. If there's something else going on, like your entourage approaching buses and travel teams and of opposing teams and other things, I don't know how that's supposed to be looking. I don't know what you understand, because whatever happened there got your whole entire squad banned from games. So you see that already. They usually see, like, yo, they'll just ban your whole, like, if you won't separate yourselves from them, like, yo, we just ban them from all the games. Now they can't come to Memphis game. Now they can't come watch you play at home. Now what? And if they can't come, and if they're not allowed in the arena, how are they gonna travel with you? That means now they're not allowed anywhere on our travel team, on our team buses or anything like that now. We got to come back here, and once we touch here, you're banned from here. Something happening. It's interesting. Like I said, I still find it intriguing. I still find it interesting. There's a little bit more nastiness going along in the NBA, and based off of how today's era of recent culture between Chicago, LA, and Atlanta have been, these next group of ballers, right? They may actually have some real nasty to them. And for people that have been longing for some 80s, 90s basketball to come back, we may start seeing glimpses of it. I don't think these young boys like each other. But I hope that you guys remember to like, share, and follow the podcast wherever you listen to the podcast at. Don't forget to subscribe. That way you get that bing bong every time that we go on. Thank you guys for listening. I am your host, the one and only talent, El Idolo Deportivo Taylor, aka the One Take Wonder. We don't edit everything. So however you saw the show, however you heard it today, is going to come back to you as raw as we always give it every single day. I am out of here. I thank you. Listen, it's late. I gotta go. I'll do the hook tomorrow. Just save me 16 bars.